Joe Rogan Podcast. Check it out.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan Podcast by night, all day.
Yeehaw. What's up, Tommy Bond?
What's up, my man?
How are you, my brother? What's cracking?
Well, I'm super stoked, man. Thanks for having me.
Looking good, looking lean. You fucking stuck with it, man. You fucking stuck with it.
Tried to. Yeah, I've been working hard at it, actually.
It's crazy. I mean, you've been so consistent. It's amazing.
Isn't that weird how that works? That's what I've said that to a few people, and they're like, "Yeah, that's what happened." I mean, I don't know. I think I had this. I don't know if I told you like this mentality before, where I would go if I got to a number on the scale. I thought of it as like a finish line. I didn't realize I was doing it, but I was. I was going, oh, I got there. Right. And then you just kind of go, well, if you're done, you're done. Yeah. And then you just kind of regress. Mm-hmm. So I just realized now that it is every day.
It is life.
It's life. It's part of life. Yeah.
Yeah. If you could think about it that way. Also, you got to think about it like delayed gratitude. Delayed gratitude is a very important concept if you want to have a happy life. You can't just have gratitude in front of your face all the time.
No.
You'll just be a mess. You want delayed gratitude, and specifically for your physical health, because you don't feel good in the end of the day. Like unless when I don't work out, if I have a day that I blow it off, which is rare, but it does happen. And if I blow it off, at the end of the day, I feel like a loser. Yeah. I know that's stupid. I know it's stupid, but it's that feeling inside of you that you didn't get ahead. You didn't. I mean, it's one thing if it's like I need a rest day. Rest days, I love them. Let me watch TV. I watch a movie.
Sure.
I indulge in
those. And you got to
too.
Listen to your body on that for sure.
And also your mind.
Yeah.
I think your mind needs rest days.
Yeah.
I enjoy a rest day now. Really, I fucking. But if you don't do the things you know you're supposed to do, you have that fucking nagging thing in your head. And that thing in your head, that nagging thing, that's hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of your day.
Yeah.
Whereas the workout, you could just get 20 minutes in. Yeah. And that feeling's gone.
Totally.
Just get 20 minutes in.
There's the I feel like a loser thing that also, but there's also this even like another layer to it where on days when I don't do anything physical and it's like, it's towards the end of the day, I kind of go like, what's wrong with me? Yeah. You know, and like Christina might be like, what's going on with you? Mm-hmm. And then sometimes it takes me a moment and I'll be like, I didn't work out today.
Yep. That's what it is.
Oh, I go, yeah. So I have like this.
Mental health.
Yeah. It's fucking with my head. Yeah. I also have this, like the anxiety has manifested itself physically. So I just have this like, oh, I didn't exert myself. So it's all together, and I go, that's what it is. So I go, tomorrow morning I just gotta get it in right away.
Yeah, it's just one of those things like brushing your teeth. You gotta fucking do it. You don't want to do it. You do it, then you feel better afterwards. Like in little bursts of that's how I feel every time I get in that stupid cold plunge. Every time I don't want to do it. Every time I do it, I don't want to do it.
It always sucks.
Sucks. It never feels good.
We had this thing where we had to bank episodes of our podcasts. So that means we were going into the studio at like, I don't know, 9 or 10, and then just spending the day there, right? And I knew that when I got home, I'd be wiped, and we'll be with the kids, and we got to do dinner and get them ready for it. So I was like, I'm just going to get up. And so every day, I just got up a little earlier, cold plunge first. So it's like that was my morning coffee. It's the first thing I did.
Wakes you right the fuck up.
Right the fuck up, and then right to the gym. And so that I would arrive at the studio in the best mood. Yeah. Just like really in a great mood.
Yeah.
And then I would zip through the day, and I mean, even they were like, wow, you're like nice. You know, like the staff. Like,
dude, it's like if you could take that in a pill form, it would be the most popular pill in the world.
100%. Yeah. No question. Yeah.
Yeah. And we're not talking about like being a bodybuilder. We're not talking about killing yourself. Just getting your heart pumping, getting your sweat going, get those muscles moving, exert yourself. Yeah. And again, it can be I can get a fucking pretty good workout in 20 minutes.
You can definitely get your heart going.
Yeah. If I'm fucking super pressed for time.
You know what's crazy is when I work out right after cold plunging, sometimes you're like, wait, how come I'm not sweating? And you don't realize that your core temperature has dropped like 17 degrees. And you're like, oh. Like,
you were at 34 degrees for 3 minutes. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Duh. Yeah. I work out outside. after I do that.
Oh, nice.
So I do I do the series of 100 body weight squats and 100 push-ups every morning.
Yeah.
And the way I do it is I do it as my warm-up now.
Yeah.
It's a good warm-up to do right after you get out of the cold plunge. So by the time I'm done with those, I'm warmed up.
Wow.
Yeah. But it's nice to do outside.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah.
That's one of the only times that I really don't mind heat, like real heat, is during workouts.
Yeah.
I like working out in heat.
It's good for you.
I do not like a cold gym.
No.
When the air conditioning's blasting in a gym, I don't like that.
No, I don't like that either. But Kronk Gym, where Tommy Hearns used to train, they always kept the
yeah.
temperature up very high.
They did?
Yeah, they kept it like 95 degrees. Yeah, in Detroit. And the reason, Emanuel Stewart was a genius, boxing genius, but also a genius physically. He knew. It's just like working out in a sauna. Like the sauna actually gives you cardiovascular benefit just sitting there because your heart's beating faster because body's trying to cool you off.
Right.
You're hot as fuck. I've had the heart strap on in the sauna and got up to 147 degrees. Or 147 beats per minute.
Just sitting there.
Yeah, just sitting there.
Yeah, your
just sitting
body's
there.
like,
yeah,
what's happening?
Especially because you do it after a workout.
Yeah.
So I'm already fucking exhausted, and then I get in that oven for 20 minutes, and at the end of that 20 minutes, my heart is jacked.
Yeah.
So you're getting static cardio just sitting there.
Just in there.
So if you're doing a boxing workout and it's 95 degrees, your heart is jacked.
Yeah.
You're getting really worked out. That's hard. It's like running with weights on.
Yeah, and then imagine that feeling right after that. Like when you're done.
Yeah, like
The relief.
like a hot yoga class. Remember
Yeah.
when we were doing hot yoga? We did how many did we do? 15 in a month?
We did 15.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
was nice, dude. That was nice.
Yeah. Something about leaving those. I went to one here in Austin.
Yeah?
Yeah. I went to a hot yoga class, and it was like, you just walk outside, you're like, this isn't any different. This is the exact same temperature.
Yeah, it's just yoga with no AC on.
God. Yeah. But you do feel this, and then the way that like a cold drink tastes right after that. It's unreal.
Yeah, just water.
Yeah, just
Just
water.
a cold water is so good.
Yeah.
Just feels so good. Do you take electrolytes?
I do every day.
Yeah.
I travel with the packets and everything.
Which ones are you taking?
I have Liquid IV.
Yeah.
I take those pouches with me
Yeah.
everywhere.
I take those too.
Yeah,
They're
and I
great.
also take them. I have a big one before bed. I fill up like a big canteen. Yeah.
Do you have to get up to piss in the middle of the night?
Yes, but
That's
not.
annoying.
It's annoying. Not too much. I mean, I don't do it like right before bed, but like I have an evening one because I remembered even from like high school football in Florida that they would go, if you're cramping, it's too late to start. Like you start taking it's not going to help you then. It's all about like the prep for it.
Right.
So like that day before you exert yourself, electrolyte boost is what's going to help you more. You know, so I always try to do it like at night too.
That makes sense. Just keeping a steady state
Yeah.
in your body.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be something that you take every day.
But the big thing, dude, like I never hated. I wasn't one of those people who's like I hate the gym or I hate working out. It really is being consistent with food too. That's a big thing. If
Yeah.
you're- like I didn't realize how much I knew I was eating poorly a lot. I was just like I had no sense of like portion control.
What turned it around? Was it those contests? Was it the weight loss contest?
I guess it's a little bit of everything. I think actually getting severely injured and like just being like, first of all, I think hearing people being like, oh, you're really going to fall apart now. Like now that you've been injured, you're going to be a mess. You're going to gain like 100 pounds. Like people would say that.
Who said that to you, Bert?
Actually his wife.
His wife said that to you?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
But she was just like in the moment saying it. But no, she wasn't.
You're
going to
gain 100 pounds.
She was like, you're going to get real fat, Tommy.
You're going to be fatter than my husband.
Yeah.
And
I
we're
was
going to
like-
make fun of
I was
you.
like, that's impossible. So, but it wasn't even just that, you know. It was like other people too. Other people are like, oh yeah, I would see it like when I open up Twitter or something. They're like, this dude's about to be a fucking whale, like you know, like
Wow.
yeah, because they saw you like, well, you're laying in a bed,
Right.
You know. So I think that kind of started it, and then what happened was my PT was, you know, we were doing all the rehab stuff, and she was the one who was like, are people telling you you're gonna like get like way out of shape? She goes, yeah. She goes, you know, it's gonna be the opposite, right? And I was like, what? She goes, you're gonna be in like the best shape of your life. And I was like, why? She's like, because you're gonna be so focused on rehab, and you're gonna feel better doing it, and you're just gonna want to get like. She was the one who, with Dr. Karen Joubert.
So we have to break Bert's arm.
We have to break multiple limbs. We gotta fucking. We should hit him with a bus.
You know, do you remember the moment of reflection after this last Sober October? We were all out there. We were all going to go do a show. And I said, come do the show with us.
Yeah.
And Bert was like, I can't go out. If I go out, I'm going to drink. And I don't want to drink. I'm really going to get my shit together now. Do you remember that?
No, I don't actually.
Yeah.
Where were we?
You
Here?
might not have been there. You might not have been while he was saying it. We were right out in front.
Oh, because I left a few minutes before, remember?
Yeah, that's right.
I was
Yeah.
like, I got to go put the kids down.
Yeah, I was trying to get him to come to the show with us. And he didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
You know?
He likes the party.
Hey, the party's great. But I think he partied during October when we had Sober October. And I still think he had a great fucking time. I saw his shows. Looks like he was killing it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it doesn't make it more of a party to get fucked up every night. It's just unsustainable. That's what I worry about. You know, and when we first did the Sober October thing, that was part of the discussion. We were all like, hey, Bert drinks too much.
Yeah.
Like, let's and I smoke too much weed. Let's try to work this out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Turns out smoking too much weed is like way better for you.
I think it is. He's on a bender right now too. On this tour he's on.
I'm sure.
Jesus Christ.
Bro, he looks like a moon pie. A moon pie with a beard.
He's so swollen.
He's so swollen.
Oh shit! This reminds me of that Joey Diaz line where I go, "You seen Birdie?" He goes, "Oh, he's so fat. I thought he was a Chinese guy. His eyes were swollen."
He's having a good time though.
He is having.
I'm very
a great
happy
time.
for him too. I'm happy for the movie and these
and
arenas.
That festival is a huge
It's incredible.
success.
But
Yeah.
watching him, do these shows in these arenas and seeing these crowds, I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
It's pretty wild, dude. It is pretty wild.
And you go back to him taking that chance and leaving the Travel Channel.
Yeah, it was a big risk on his part actually, because that's the equivalent of, because we all knew comics like this, and it's just the reality of what it is when you start working as a comedian, and you have like your circle of friends. There's a number of them who, like, as you start to do road gigs, and these are low paying. You're not a ticket seller. You're just doing these gigs, and you're like, are you gonna do some of these gigs? And they're like, nah, like I have this job, and the job provides the the consistency and the comfort.
Mm-hmm.
It's reliable. They're like, I'll get my paycheck.
Yeah.
And then what happens is you doing these low, like they're making more money than you, right? Because you're doing like the bullshit comic. But then like your comedy starts to get better because you're doing stand-up all the time. And then you get more opportunities. And then they go like, hey, I want to do that. But like 5 years have gone by.
Right.
And you're like, yeah, but you've been in this day job.
Yes.
Right? And then all of a sudden, you're getting opportunities to do TV specials or like comics.
They want you to just grab their hand.
Yeah. And then they
take
go,
them with you on the road.
What happened? You're like, well, you didn't take the leap.
Yeah.
And Bert kind of had that comfort of that TV show.
Yeah.
It's a good check. It's not a bullshit check. It's a good, it's a good living.
On TV. Yeah.
But when he decided, no, I got to go make a full leap, that's a leap,
Yeah.
That's a leap. And then it paid off, obviously, tremendously.
Yeah, you know the story. I called him up when he was on a
Yeah.
motorcycle in Vietnam.
Yeah.
I was like, you got to quit that job.
Yeah.
But I was right. I was like, you can't just, first of all, it's just not healthy for you or your family for you to be gone 3-4 months at a time.
No.
It's crazy. And I know you're working and you got to do what you got to do, but that's not good for you.
No.
And also you're not reaching your potential as a stand-up. You're a hilarious guy.
Yeah.
You're great on podcasts.
Totally.
Like, that's where you should be focusing your energy. But back when he first got on that show, podcasts were bullshit. Like when he first told the machine story on my podcast, who the fuck is watching it? No one's watching it.
No, yeah.
Podcasts were bullshit. So it was like me saying, go do a podcast. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I have kids. Like,
I
what
know.
are you talking about? This isn't a job. I can't quit a TV job.
Yeah, it sounds insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think because I started to do bigger shows and selling out clubs back then too. And he was like, how is this happening? I was like, I'm doing stand-up all the time. I do this podcast every week. I just got a special out, and all of it combined together. And I was like, you can do this too. And he was like, oh, I don't know. and then he was like, and then I remember him telling, he's like, I did it. I quit. I'm not doing the Travel Channel.
Amazing.
I'm going to go all in.
Well, it worked out, luckily.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I could go the other way too.
Yeah. But that thing about guys who don't take the leap, I bet that's in every walk of life, where people just don't But whatever it is, when you're not all in. But if that's the haunting thing about the comedy world. If you're not all in, and someone else is. I remember when I was on Fear Factor, so I was, doing stand up when I could. But God damn it, I was working a lot. It was a lot of hours, and I remember I'd go to the store and I'd run into someone who was a full-time comic, and they're on the road. Yeah, I just did West Palm. I was there Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that sounds so much better. Sounds like so much more fun.
Yeah, than
Telling
doing taping
jokes.
these shows. Yeah,
It's just like, to me, it was like doing stand-up seemed so much better. It just seemed like a better life. Like that's what it's more interesting.
you also have to have a like when I look back at the choices I made early on in stand-up, you actually are in a bit of denial about
How bad you are?
well, not just how bad you are, how bad your life is. like I mean, I'm not living in all my friends with regular jobs have a much better quality of life. But here's the thing, it didn't even bother me really.
Yeah, because you wanted it so bad.
Yeah, I just wanted it so bad that I'm saying you have a delusion almost, right? Like people see where you live,
Right.
and they're like, how much money are you making?
But you're used to it.
You're so used to it. Yeah,
As
you're
long
like-
as you're used to it, it's fine. Now, one thing would be like, say if you had some white collar job and you're making 6 figures a year, and then you decided to go to stand up, and then you were living in the place like you were
Yeah.
living in when I met you, then it would suck a fat dick.
Yeah.
Because you'd be like, fuck, now I'm falling apart. It's very difficult for people to downsize with the intention of upsizing eventually.
It's almost impossible.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. But you would be so much happier if you could kind of get by doing what you like to do.
Yeah.
And then you could eventually make more money doing that. But the more money thing, the most important thing is, are you doing what you want to do? Because we don't have much time. We just don't. I'm 55. I'll be 56 in a month. That's 56. That's old as shit. When I was a kid, I thought 56-year-old people were archaic wrecks
Yeah.
that could barely stand up.
know.
You're in the doctor's office every couple of weeks. Something's falling apart.
Yeah, but look at you, man. You're happy. You're
Yeah.
thriving.
Luckily,
Luckily.
I got lucky. I hit the science
Yeah.
and knowledge
Yeah.
and fitness world
Yeah.
and vitamin supplementation, hormone supplementation. All of it came right when I got old.
Right.
It's like, I just
Yeah.
rode the wave.
That's true. Some of the stuff is just like the luck of timing, right?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, also our lives, I think about this all the time. If we were exactly the same guys we are now, but we were at this age in like 1999,
we're fucked.
it's just a totally different life.
Yeah, totally different life.
Yeah.
Different life, first of all. No phones. Well, 99 you had phones,
Yeah.
but I mean, imagine 1919. You're fucked.
Oh.
You're fucked. Life is
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah.
Life's shit.
Yeah.
I mean, we're as much as people complain about today, we got it fucking super easy.
Oh, yeah.
It's very nice.
Well, if it was 1919, first of all, when I broke my arm, they'd just be like, we're just going to cut your
we'll
arm.
just saw it off, bite this leather strap.
Yeah, that's what happened back then, too.
Oh,
you broke
yeah.
things, and they'd be like, well, you're just a cripple.
Yeah, you're a cripple now forever.
We'll give you this cane and this wheelbarrow like you can just lean on this wheelbarrow and kind of wheel that into town.
When did they start setting bones?
Fuck.
What year was that? When they stopped hacking people's arms off?
No, dude, it's not that long ago. For
Have you
sure.
ever seen that video of the guy who's playing the banjo and his arm is broken and he never got it fixed? So his arm is like floating around. It's so crazy, dude. Like he's got the detachment between the two bones. This guy, look at this.
And
It never rehealed.
No, and I still work and stuff. Yeah.
I still
Look, it's
work.
broken, still
That's
broken in half. I mean, look.
No,
That is ridiculous.
no.
But you know
Man,
how
can you
insane
put it
that
back
is?
together and play the banjo?
Yeah.
Look at this.
Wow.
When I have this thing that keeps them straight, you know what I'm saying?
That's amazing,
You know,
dude.
the muscles. Cause
Well, that's one word for it.
Actually, that one would kick out right
I
here.
mean,
Imagine how weak that guy is in arm wrestling. I bet you could fuck him up.
You know what I'm saying?
God bless.
I mean, can he even open a jar of mayonnaise? Can he fucking? What can you do with that
it's
arm?
really incredible because one thing is kind of interesting. I had a double whammy, right? When I got injured, I tore my patellar tendon.
Right at the
on my
same
leg.
time.
Patellar tendon tear is not like an MCL, ACL. That leg is completely useless. Like there's no hinge anymore.
Right.
So your knee doesn't. It just hangs.
Right.
Right. So you have to reattach the tendon, and for that to heal and be able to use it again, it takes just for it to heal takes about 2 months. Then your muscle has atrophied completely, like your quad is completely atrophied. So then you have to learn how to walk and learn how to do steps again and learn how to like it's a complete like debilitating type of injury. So when I got, and they're both at the same time. So when I got injured, all the people in the hospital, doctors, PTs, they all looked at my arm and they're like, that's not going to be a problem, right? And you think about it, you're like, yeah, you see people in casts all the time. They're like, you'll be fine with that. That leg, that's going to be your problem. And it ended up being the opposite.
Really? Oh, that's right, because of the nerve damage.
I still have problems.
Yeah?
I still have nerve issues. Yeah. And
How bad is it now?
Well, you know, an interesting thing. Remember we did Sober October?
Mm-hmm.
You remember, like, I showed you me doing push-ups with my shirt off?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, my left rhomboid wasn't even firing. Right? So what happens is when you have, like, a muscle, a nerve sends a signal to your muscle. If there's nerve trouble going to that muscle, the muscle just doesn't fire. So when I was doing push-ups, because that wasn't firing, you have other muscles that compensate. That's the way your body works, right? So like if you're going like this and that rhomboid doesn't fire, then like your lat starts to pick up for it. Oh. Right? So it's like, and it's doing it like unbeknownst to your mind. It's just doing it on its own. So I had like insane, it took me like 6 months to recover from the 100 push-ups a day.
Wow.
Because I wasn't able to use like the full strength of my body to do a normal push-up.
Is it firing now?
It's firing now because I actually have been like I went to this place called Wired, and they put these like...
Oh, yeah, neuromuscular stimulation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good.
That helped a lot.
Electrical muscular stimulation. That EMS stuff is really good for injury recovery.
That has helped me quite a bit. But I still, the thing that I have is like this weird, I don't know how to even describe it, arm pain. When like, if I try to like, if I was to jam you like this, like hands, it sends an incredibly painful signal through my arm. Wow. Like especially like the bicep tendon, things like that. So I'm just always like, I'm trying new things. I do different things in the gym. I do treatments like that. I'm going to get another nerve analysis done where they send these signals through your arm.
Have you done any hyperbaric chamber stuff?
No.
You should do that.
Yeah, I've heard
That's
that.
supposed to be very good with people with nerve issues.
I'm going to try it.
You know, it's double the atmosphere.
Yeah.
And it really
You
helps
just sit in
recover.
there, right?
You can just read a book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll try that.
It's very relaxing. It's no big deal.
But it's funny though, because you think, oh, broken arm, just throw a cast on that thing and you'll be done.
No.
And it's been a couple of years. It's not completely healed.
That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, injuries, the one good thing about injuries is when you do get over them, if you could remember. Like, because when you're injured, you're like, God damn it, why wasn't I appreciating being healthy?
Yeah.
Same way I feel when I'm sick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, you said, you asked me about like turning points. Mm-hmm. The other big one was that, about a little over a year ago, I realized that I was just regressing again. And that was actually the big turning point for me. It was that I had kind of recovered for the most part from the injuries. And I was like, okay, I'm like healthy again. And I felt myself regressing again. I went to shoot this thing and I was like, I just saw myself. I was like, oh, I'm going backwards again. It bothered me.
Is it food?
I think it was food. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I kind of was like, oh, I can't go back again.
Dude, that carnivore diet kills all that. You
Really?
just can't overeat. You don't overeat. It's wild.
Are you doing that right now?
Yeah, it's wild. I know when to stop eating. It's like if I am eating, say like a steak and mashed potatoes and French fries and other stuff and bread and butter, I'll just keep eating the mashed potato. Even after I'm done eating steak, I'll keep eating fries. I'll have another piece of bread. And all that stuff is just empty calories. Yeah, it's carbohydrates. It's not empty, but it's unnecessary. You're eating more than your body's going to burn off, and for me, it's gluttony.
What's a normal day for your eating? Like what do you? What's breakfast?
Today was Nilgai steaks and bacon. So I cooked a couple of these small Nilgai steak. Nilgai is an antelope that I shot in Texas.
Oh wow.
So I fried that and I fried bacon first, and then I cooked the Nilgai in bacon fat. Because you need fat. Nilgai is a very lean animal, and if you're in a fat burning state, which is the one I'm in right now,
Yeah.
you have to have some sort of fats. So I like avocado oil. I like some of that Primal Kitchen mayonnaise that's made with avocado oil. I'm not like avoiding vegetables per se, but I'm 100% I'm avoiding bread and pasta and all that other bullshit.
Yeah.
And just if I have I'll have a piece of asparagus every now and then. But I'm not like thinking about vegetables. I take a shit ton of vitamins.
You take fruit? Eat fruit too?
Yeah, I eat fruit
Yeah.
when I want to.
Yeah.
But most of my meals are steak and eggs. Most
egg.
of my meals are steak, eggs, steak, bacon. That's most of my meals, and I feel fucking great. It's what's wild is joint pain. Like I've had a left knee that's been fucking with me forever, and I don't feel anything now. It's been 2 months on this diet, 2+ months now, and it's like it just accelerated the healing.
You
Like,
feel way better.
I think when you're eating a lot of shit, your body is in a state of inflammation. I think most people are in, there's a scale of like how much inflammation your body's carrying.
Yeah.
And you don't think about inflammation just because it's just how you are.
just it, yeah.
And you're not eating anything crazy. I had spaghetti for dinner and I had a Subway sandwich for lunch.
Yeah.
I'm not eating McDonald's. And you think you're not eating inflammation-causing foods, but you are.
Yeah.
And you don't realize it until you cut those out of your diet.
So much sugar.
I think it's sugar, but I also think there's a lot going on with wheat. I think with the complex glutens and there could possibly be something with glyphosate. There's a lot of people.
What's glyphosate?
Glyphosate is Roundup. That's that chemical that they spray on weeds that they found something like 94% of people have it in their blood.
Yeah.
And the pesticide apologist will say, "Oh, it's just a small number. It's hardly anything."
Yeah.
It's fucking poison.
Sure, yeah.
It's 100% cancer-causing poison, and 94% of the people have it in their body.
Yeah.
And by the way, if they're measuring it, and you're getting an average of what these people have in it, well, what's the high end?
Yeah.
There's got to be some zeros too, right? There's got to be people who only eat organic and they don't have any in them. So what's the high end? Like, how bad off are those people? How about people that work on a farm? Like, what's their...
And they're just breathing that in all day.
What's their fucking blood work look like?
Yeah.
Like, what... there's a better way to do it, and they don't want to do it the better way because it's more expensive and it's difficult, to do a regenerative farm. But if you do it this way with Roundup and they use it everywhere, this stuff is fucking sketchy.
Yeah, I've never really spent time thinking much about how wheat affects me personally. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I've never been... The one that I do think about a lot is sugar.
Yeah.
And also because I'm somebody who I have to just deny myself. Because I get into like a pattern.
Right.
Where
I know
like,
what you mean.
if I give myself like... And also it's like there's this thing where you realize that you can really kind of fall into peer pressure kind of situations.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
You're just like, you're hanging out and you're like, try one of these. Mm-hmm. And you go like, okay. And you like it, whatever, some pastry or something. Mm-hmm. And then you see it tomorrow and you're like, that was good yesterday. I'm
going to get it today.
And then
Yeah.
I get into a pattern where I have to deny myself.
You get excited about that mouth pleasure.
I do.
You know what I used to get for? Chocolate croissants.
Buddy, I used to be with you. Do you know where we used to get them?
Buddy.
At the fucking Terminal 5 Delta when they had that place. I remember I would get off the plane with you.
Yeah.
And it was coming back to LA. It was on the way back.
Yeah.
And we would arrive in the morning and you're like, these are fucking good. And I was like, mm-hmm. And then you're like, it's just one. Like, I can do this. And I was like, yeah, me too. And I would think that like we're the same. So I'd be like, shove one down my throat. And I was like, Joe's right. These are good. And then I'd go home and go to a fucking bakery and be like, can I get a dozen chocolate croissants? I mean, yeah, dude. That might be my favorite treat of all.
Chocolate croissant's pretty damn good. The
I mean,
buttery ones with the mushy chocolate inside.
Bro,
warm.
I was just in Paris. And
Paris.
Look
at
à
you,
Paris.
international channel.
Je ne parle pas français.
Wow.
But I always talk about. I mean, I do have an affection for croissants. I really do.
They're awesome.
And I was like, we're in Paris. I was talking about was like, oh, I gotta sample some croissants in Paris. My fucking tour manager went out one morning, comes back, and he goes, I got something for you. I go, what? He goes, I went and picked up the best croissants in Paris. And he had and he gave me like a sampling of these croissants.
How good were they?
They're unbelievable.
They look pretty damn good.
Yeah, they were so unbelievable.
Look at you, right? Know how to say them?
No, well, I stammered through
Pain
it.
de chocolat.
Yeah, I think they told me that in Paris they say chocolatine for a chocolate croissant. They don't say we don't say a croissant de chocolat. We say a chocolatine. I said okay.
Chocolatine.
Yeah, but we were definitely tearing them up in Paris.
France is falling apart right now. Isn't that wild?
Is it France?
Have you see what's going on?
I mean, when I was there, there
riots?
When I was there was big riots.
Have you seen the riots from the police killed a guy?
No. When I was there, it was about the retirement age.
Oh, this is way worse. This is way, way worse.
What's
this is the
issue?
last few days.
What is the issue?
Somebody got murdered. There's been fucking gunfire in the streets, lighting businesses on fire for like 5 days. It's been like the purge. Some of the videos are insane.
It is
French teen shot by police officer pleads with rioters to stop the violence. So something happened. I don't know the details of the story, but the police shot some guy.
during a riot.
No. I think they shot him was it a traffic stop?
Oh.
Tensions erupt in Paris suburb after a 17-year-old delivery driver is killed in a police standoff. I don't know what happened. He was shot and killed by a police officer Tuesday in a Paris suburb, according to the family's lawyer. The death unleashed tensions between angry residents, setting barricades on fire, and police firing tear gas. Police officer was detained on suspicion of manslaughter, according to the prosecutor's office in the Paris suburb of Nanterre. It said the shooting took place during a traffic check. The victim was wounded by a gunshot and died at the scene. The prosecutor's office said in a statement, a passenger in the car was briefly detained and released, and the police are searching for another passenger who fled. So what was it that happened? Do we know what happened? Okay, the lawyer cited a video reported to be of the incident circulating online that shows two police officers leaning into the driver's side window of a yellow car before the vehicle pulls away and one officer fires towards the driver. The car is later seen crashed into a post nearby. So they tried to take off, and he shot them.
So is this what prompted these riots, though?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Isn't that crazy that description of what happened in the traffic stop seems so routine here? Like there's an endless series of videos that you can watch of something similar to that.
Yes.
It always feels like it's very U.S.
Yeah.
Like we always have incidents in traffic stops.
Sure.
Which are, I'm not saying blame is always one way or the other. It's sometimes it's the person in the car, sometimes it's
Sure.
But that just seems like a really routine thing here.
You know what people have to think about with cops? I know it's very hard to do if you're not a cop, but I want you to try. You know that feeling that you get when you're driving on the highway? There's a reason why people get road rage. Road rage, rather. There's a reason why they get road rage, too.
Yeah, there is.
But the reason why they get road rage.
Yeah.
And one of the reason why they get road rage is when you are on the road and you're driving, you're in a heightened state because your car is going 60 miles an hour. So you're ready at any time to hit the brakes, to change lanes.
Yeah.
So you're in this heightened state. And then when someone does something like, you fucking idiot,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
where you would never do that. Like, it took me a while to realize this. I forget where I read it. And then when I read it, I was like, duh. Because I was always like, how come nobody treats people like that when they're walking?
Yeah.
No one ever does that.
'Cause you're
no one,
protected by
if someone
this.
gets in front of you when you're walking, you go, oh, the guy got in front of me.
Yeah.
It's not an issue at all.
like,
but in a car, you're like, oh, you fucking asshole.
fucking
What
piece
do
of
you
shit."
fucking cut in front of me.
Yeah.
That's what it is, because you're at a heightened state. Now imagine being a cop, and every time you pull someone over,
Yeah.
we've all seen those videos of cops getting shot.
Oh, yeah.
We've all seen those videos
Yeah.
of cops pulling people over, and then the windows explode and people fire on them. We've all seen those. They've seen them too. They know people who've been shot.
Yeah.
They have no idea who you are. They have no idea what's going on.
No.
So when they come up to that car, they are at a heightened state. They
Yeah.
have to be. They are literally, to a criminal, they're the professional enemy.
Yeah.
Their job is to be the enemy of the criminal.
Yeah.
It's a fucking crazy position to be in society, and we don't treat it with enough respect.
Yeah.
And when the consequence, when it goes badly, all we think about is that officer, and that's a representative of all police officers. But it's not true.
It's true. I think a lot of people too, it's kind of hard. Like a lot of people, they go into getting pulled over with a heightened sense of emotion themselves.
Sure.
Which, if you are that person getting pulled over for whatever you got pulled over for, if that's your like mentality in that moment, you are actually going to escalate things. You are, as the person getting
100%.
pulled over. And it does take an effort to go, okay, this guy, like you said, he's walking up here in a heightened state.
Yeah.
Like, I can diffuse things. I can diffuse them.
Yes.
By how I conduct this.
Yes.
But some people, you know, first you have the people that are like the legal scholars who want to lecture the police officer on his rights. Like, yeah, you can do that, man.
Right.
Or there's I have friends even. I have friends who are like, I hate cops. Cops are all pigs, you know, like, and I've watched them speak to police officers in a way where I'm like, Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's so disrespectful.
So stupid.
I go, yeah, but you are making this worse.
Right. That's a human being.
Yeah. I
Like,
go, you
when
gotta
you
fucking
interact
chill a
with them,
little bit. You don't have to.
you don't
like-
know them.
Yeah, you don't have to get on your knees.
Right.
But you know, just like he's doing his thing. Just like let's try to smooth this thing out. Let's not try
Yeah.
to make it worse.
Let's try to make it better.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. If I ever have an interaction with a cop, it's always, how you doing, sir?
Yeah.
What's happening, brother? Everything
Yeah.
good?
Yeah,
I want it smooth and easy.
completely. Yeah.
Yeah. And just that whole, those kind of generalizations, all cops are pigs, like, fuck off.
No, it's not good.
Fuck off.
It's not good.
I don't like those generalizations with anything. Women are stupid. Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off.
No,
It's just annoying.
no. You're like most women are stupid.
Ah.
But no. But if you go into those,
Anything.
yeah, like that, you're gonna
any interaction with the retail worker, a fucking auto mechanic,
Yeah.
anything, any interaction.
And sometimes I think if this comes with age, sometimes you do meet a real piece of shit.
oh yeah,
Like it can be a police officer, it can be the mechanic, it can be
car salesman.
the cars. Oh fuck, the car salesman, flight attendant.
Yeah,
And I would say I call it take the bait more, right? Feel the rage, become like escalate things.
yeah.
Well, yeah. I'll be like, I mean, I've said some regrettable things to people, you know, but I mean, like, I think with age now, one of the things that happens is you go like, I think this person sucks, and internally, and I go, I'm just like, I had a flight where I've been on, I don't know, a million flights, right? And it was early morning cross country flight, and the flight attendant, I was like, she was like, you want breakfast? I was like, well, I'm going to zonk out here, so maybe when I wake up in a little while. And she goes, no. She goes, it's breakfast now.
Whoa.
And I looked at her and I was like that. I was just processing. I was like, that's like, it was super rude.
When did that change? Pandemic? Did they just fire a bunch of people that had been there for a long time and hire a bunch of new people and pay them less?
I have a real trigger too for like disrespect or even perceived disrespect. You know, where I then become like I almost got arrested at an airport one time for this. You know, I ended up calling the TSA agent a pig, but again, that was a few years ago. But this was like this. I looked at her and I was like, and in my mind, I could have said like escalated things, and I just thought, I go, you know what, this like I don't know why she's an asshole. I don't know what's going on. I just went, yeah, I think I'm just gonna sleep. I go, I'm just going to sleep. She's like, okay. And just walked away. And she was clearly rude.
Yeah.
And like, I'd never been spoken. Like most flight attendants, when you go, I was going to sleep. They're like, yeah, I'll check on you later. See if you want to eat then. Like,
Yeah.
we'll keep it warm for you.
Yeah.
She was so rude, but I just was like, why make this a thing? You know, I was just
Yeah.
like, I go, I'm just going to sleep.
It might be hard to find people to do that now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, they have the biggest issue in commercial air travel right now is staffing.
Really?
It's still staffing.
Really?
Absolutely. It's still staffing. It's why you're finding an incredible number of delays. It's not just staffing for airlines, it's also staffing at air traffic control. So all that is together. If you fly commercially, you'll notice that it is a miracle to board and take off and land on time. Almost everything is delayed. It is delayed. You have a lot of times you're everything is functioning well. Then you get there. I can't tell you like how many flights are just like, well, everything's ready to go, and they're like, yeah, the crew's not here. Crew's here. This crew has to swap out. They've maxed out their hours. Now we're waiting for a new crew. This is like over and over. And then it happens at air traffic control where they are not fully staffed yet either. So this just is a huge delay thing. I mean, commercial travel just needs to be revamped. In the United
Pete
States.
Buttigieg is doing a great job.
Yeah, sure. They're doing great.
He's the best. He's the best at it. Mm-hmm. He's handling it. Don't worry. He's got it covered.
Who's this?
Pete Buttigieg.
Oh yeah, that's my guy. What is he? Is he the
The guy. He's the guy in charge of transportation.
That's a fucking
So
shit
he's
show.
in charge of the fucking trains flying off the rails.
You've done a terrible job, Pete.
So was it during COVID? Did people get fired and then they decided to do other things and they never took the jobs again?
Some people got fired. Some people. Well, I mean, I think more people were even just let go. Like there's a lot of places like that had to shut down their operations. They had no more revenue coming in,
Right.
so they let people go. And then you've seen what happened with what happened with commercial real estate. Commercial real estate is upside down in this country.
Is it?
Yes. You know why?
Why?
Because people don't want to go to offices still anymore.
Yeah, they want
Still.
to do remote work.
They wanna
wanna
do
work in
remote
their
work.
pajamas and jerk off.
So the people who, if you have these big commercial buildings, I mean, it used to be like this huge asset to own this commercial real estate, and now it's like a liability because you have empty offices, dude. You have empty offices all over the country, and you can't fill them up. You can't force people. And then there's companies that have just. I know somebody that owns a company that said he goes. I like a lot of people goes. I wanted people to come here. I want them in the office, and he was met with like such total resistance. Because I just realized I had to allow it. Like if we were going to continue to operate.
Wow.
So he just gave in to his employees going, no, we don't want to do that.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's a sizable operation he has.
Wow. So people just say, no, I want to work at home.
Yeah, and they're like, and I've been working, and I'm effective. And to a degree, they are, like, in his case, they're correct. Like, he's like, the work was getting done. I just prefer to have everybody operating the way we normally had. But he was like, everybody was like, no. I used to do an hour and a half commute every day. I haven't done that now in 2 years. I don't want to do it again. And then he had to go like, okay.
As long as they're disciplined and as long as they're actually effective, I could see that. But then you got this stupid ass office. What do we do with this place with all these offices?
Hence why this commercial real estate business is like in the shitter.
Wow, I wonder what happens with that because it doesn't seem like that's going to change. But there are a lot of CEOs that are supposedly pushing back on all this stuff. I keep reading articles every day.
The interesting thing is, how people always adapt, right? Mm-hmm. Nothing just goes. If something's losing money, people don't just go, well, I guess we'll just lose money forever.
Right.
So there is going to be a point, and maybe it's happening now, where you're going to start seeing something done with this commercial property. If things stay vacant, they're not just going to hold on to that for 15 years.
Yeah.
They're going to turn that into something. So
I was reading some dipshit comedian on Twitter saying that they should turn all that into housing.
Great.
For homeless people.
Yeah, that is very positive.
Oh, that's really good if you don't own the building, you fucking communist.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I mean, I got to say, that also reminds me of this, and I know this will be unpopular for a lot of people to hear, but the idea of forgiving student loans, it's a fantastic theory. But one thing that nobody considers, who is a huge advocate of that, is, okay, so somebody owns that debt. That debt is owned. So are you saying, when you say forgive, who are you saying are you saying that the government will just pay all of that debt? Do you have an idea the amount of debt that is? Somebody owns the debt. So if you go forgive the debt, to what degree? Like, are you just saying erase it? It doesn't just disappear. The debt is owned.
Right.
So when you say just pay it, who are you saying will pay it? In taxes?
Right. Everybody's going to pay it then.
Right. So the debt just doesn't get erased, is my point.
But there is a bizarre issue with student loan debt. that student loan debt is the only debt that you can't declare bankruptcy.
Yeah, that part is
That's crazy.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That doesn't make any sense.
But when you say forgive it, it's not just like, I think a lot of people say that and they go, I just don't want to pay this. Yeah, of course, I understand that.
Yeah.
But you realize that somebody has to pay it. It doesn't just go into the sky.
Right.
Somebody owns that debt. So who's going to pay it? If you say that the government will forgive student loans, I mean, that amount has to be in like the trillions.
Wonder what it is. Let's find out. What's the collective student loan debt in the United States as
I
of
do
20?
know there is a differentiation in this conversation that it's federal student loan debt, not private student loan debt, which is a big difference.
Okay.
That's companies that do own that debt versus like the government that granted.
So this
like
is just
Pell Grants and
federal
stuff like that.
federal
I'm
student loans.
Pretty sure of that.
Okay, so there's two different types of loan debt. So I'd want to know what it is compared to the military-industrial complex budget.
Oh yeah. Right. That budget is
As a budget,
astronomical.
boy. They accidentally paid an extra $6 billion to
Americans-
Ukraine. They're like, whoops.
Whoopsie.
See this with
Typo.
this statement. I don't know if this is differentiating that either. It says it's 1.78 trillion in student loan debt
It's a lot, dude.
to the U.S.
That's more than people owe on any other type of debt in the U.S. except for mortgages, though the Biden administration is trying to forgive hundreds of billions of dollars in student loan balances. That's more than people owe on any other type of debt in the U.S. Well, except for mortgages.
But I mean, isn't that, like, you see what I'm saying? Like if you just say, hey, erase this
Yeah.
debt. Okay, I mean I get it, but you do understand that has to come from somewhere.
Right.
It's not just them
It's
going.
not air debt.
Yeah.
That is both. That is federal and private together.
Okay, so that's all of it.
1.75 trillion.
Click on that so we can see what it says there. It says on average. It says cost of college has steadily increased over the last 30 years. In that time frame, tuition costs at public four-year colleges grew from $4,160 to $10,740, and from $19,360 to $38,070.
It's crazy.
At private nonprofit institutions adjusted for inflation. All costs have risen. So has the need for student loans and other forms of financial aid. Imagine if you're a person that makes $100,000 a year and your kid is going to school and it costs $38,000 a year,
insane.
and then your kid gets out and they get a $50,000 a year job and you realize they're never going to pay this back.
It's insane. It's what they're doing.
That's
Is
what they wanted to get rid of.
It says 92% of all student debt are federal student loans. The remaining amount is private student loans.
okay. So it's a trillion.
Yeah.
It's a trillion plus.
Yeah,
That's a lot, dude.
it's a lot. And so how much have we spent on Ukraine and how much are we going to spend on Ukraine? But here's the thing. Like, if you forgave that debt, wouldn't that spark the economy? Wouldn't, like, if people have more money, the thing about when people have more money, people spend more money. When people spend more money, the economy does better. If people are straddled with student loan debt, I got to think that somehow or another cripples the economy.
I don't think you're wrong in theory about that. I mean, it would seem that like you'd obviously have more to do.
Yeah.
You could do more with your money.
And it's not like you're giving people money, you're just absolving them of debt.
Which is
the
a
real
huge one.
The real problem is the whole predatory student loan situation.
Yeah.
That's a real problem. And it's also a real problem to saddle down a 17-year-old with debt that they will keep for the rest of their life.
And they hit you at that same time at the student union with your first credit card, and they're like, "Just use this."
Ugh.
And it's got 29.9%.
Yeah.
APR. You're like, okay,
Insane.
you don't know what the fuck you're.
And
even
you need to do it
being
to build
told.
your credit.
Yeah.
I need to
Oh, I
to build
gotta
my
have
credit.
this. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're
I'm gonna buy
paying
a car.
You're paying $26 a month for a coffee you bought. You
Yeah.
know, it's crazy. It is crazy.
Yeah, it's the whole thing is insane, but it's insane that we do it to kids because, kids don't have a sense of the future. They just don't. They've only been alive for 18 years. 18 years is not enough time to figure out what kind of debt you're going to be in when you're 70.
Don't you wonder too why when we're in school, and it's still not a thing when kids are in school, we don't like really teach them about money? Like you don't learn shit about money.
You don't learn shit.
I'm saying at any level, elementary school, high school.
We don't learn shit about anything you need to manage life.
No.
You're basically learning how to say words and not form sentences.
You don't learn about you don't learn about money,
Yeah.
you don't learn about nutrition.
Nope.
Nothing about that.
You don't learn about thinking.
No.
I mean, you know how many kids could be saved from a lifetime of bullshit if you just explain to them why jealousy, why it affects them?
Sure,
And then-
emotions,
yeah.
yeah.
And explain that these are just natural human emotions that we evolve, but you have to learn how to conquer them.
And you learn how to you learn that like one of the most amazing. It seems like it's something you should be taught in like middle school. Is feeling. Let them sit.
Yes. Yeah.
When you feel jealous,
Yeah.
you're not supposed to never feel jealous.
Right.
But you learn to go, okay, that's the feeling.
Yeah.
I'm feeling, and this is why I feel jealous about it. And guess what? All feelings they dissipate, but they get worse. They extend when you fight them, when you resist. I don't want to feel it, and you don't want to actually process the feeling and deal with it. I mean, having that understanding that all those emotions are natural to have, it's like it really is something that could serve you so much better to learn younger. I don't want to learn that at 40.
Right.
Teach me that at 13.
Right.
You know, yeah, it would make high school a lot easier
Yeah.
to deal with.
Yeah. I mean, they should teach kids the value of exercise in terms of mental health, the benefits that it has on that. No, you have to figure that out on your own.
Yeah,
You figure that out through trial and error, through your own life.
totally.
Yeah, nobody's teaching, unless you're listening to podcasts, nobody's teaching you that in school.
How to think.
No one's teaching you how to think. And no one who you admire, who lives a good life, is teaching you how they do it.
Yeah.
You know, that's another thing. People are real stingy with, their own personal success formulas.
Oh yeah. Well, that's one of my big, like, the litmus test for a good person. Like when I go, this is a cool motherfucker, is people who are willing to share information. It's a really, like, it's a gauge for like a solid person.
Yeah.
Is when you go like how'd you build this studio? There's the person who goes, it just takes work. I had my guys, and you're like, all right. Right, that's them going like, I'm not going to tell you.
Right.
That's mine.
Exactly.
And then there's a person who's like, here's his card. Give him a call. He's awesome. It's like people who share information, whatever it is, are the people who don't have that insecurity that, like, well, if you have it, then it's no longer mine.
Right. And by the way, it's only good. It's good for the person. Like, say if it's someone who does something, you need a mechanic. I have the best fucking mechanic in Austin. This guy's a shit.
Yeah.
I'll tell you about him. I'll fucking,
Yeah.
And then if you do that, and then he gets work.
Yeah.
And then he goes, oh, Joe says you're awesome. Oh, that's nice. He feels good.
Isn't
Everybody
that
feels
amazing,
good.
though?
Yeah.
How some people are like, no, that's my mechanic.
Yeah, but if I give you him, I need my fucking car worked on first.
First, yeah.
First.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's such a
So
stupid
you
thing.
got to tell me if you're going to bring your car in,
Yeah.
because if I need my car worked on, I
you're there.
called first.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's gross.
It's just famine mentality.
Yeah.
It's common in everything. It's a
Totally.
stupid mindset. But it also comes from being around groups of people that think that way. If you get fortunate enough to be around someone who doesn't think that, I mean, I'm very fortunate in martial arts, because in martial arts it's a very meritocracy based thing, and it's also, you need really good people to get good.
Yeah.
So everybody like cherishes and also respects and celebrates people that are really good,
Yeah.
because it's good for everybody.
It is.
It's good in comedy too. When you see someone killing, you're like, damn, go watch this guy.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
And then you get a juice. You get a
Yeah.
little juice out of it.
Yeah,
if you look at it the right way.
Yeah, you do. Watching great stand-up is like medicinal. It is inspiring.
Yes.
It makes you go like, I mean, I think I told you this, that like when I was at the club and Attell was in town, it was just a great not just watching him on stage, which was fantastic, but just hanging out with him.
Yes.
It actually took me back to like, oh yes, like hanging out with somebody like this in the green room reminds you of all the things you love about doing stand-up.
The green room at that club
Yeah.
has been the greatest thing that I've ever experienced.
Yeah, it's been great.
Because I knew, well, first of all, I knew the setup was perfect, because both rooms are right next to the green room is in the center.
middle, yeah.
In the center. It's literally, you can go from the green room onto the little stage in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And then you can go downstairs to get to the other one, and you're watching on the monitors, and you got the balcony.
Yeah.
It's so centrally located. It's so perfect.
Yeah.
And you're above, you can go watch the show from the balcony.
Yeah.
So anytime, like, Shane Gillis is on stage,
Yeah.
go out there and watch his set. We'll watch his set. And you go back inside and everybody's laughing. It's fucking amazing.
a
The
great thing.
hang is so good.
Yeah, it's all about the hang. Because that was the best. We used to always say that about the store too.
Yes.
Was that what was the best part of the store? You go to the parking lot.
Yeah.
Like standing in the parking lot and just shooting the shit with people.
But we have a parking lot with a bar.
Yeah.
And a private bathroom.
Yeah.
It's like the whole thing is set up. It's nice.
Awesome. It's awesome.
It's so nice, but to be able to be around those guys all the time. Rich Voss was in last week.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's fun.
I was
I think Tony Woods is there this weekend.
I was trying to, because I only came in for the night, but I was trying to make it last night. I got delayed. I couldn't come in.
Is Tony Woods there this weekend? Tony Woods is a funny motherfucker.
Tony Woods is
Oh
so
my God,
funny.
he's so good. I was so excited to get him in here. He went to the Vulcan. That fucking guy went on stage at the Vulcan with some shit that he was just talking about in the green room. Like, and something, not a bit. He
Yeah.
did organic.
Yeah.
And then went on stage and was killing for 5 minutes with it.
Yeah.
Just so smooth.
He's so smooth.
So, what a veteran. Tony was a veteran when I met him.
Yeah.
So I met him in like 92,
Yeah.
91, somewhere around
And no like arrogance about
Sends
that
me
guy.
Bible verses.
Yeah.
Sends me Bible verses and tells me God bless me. All the time. All the time, dude. There he is.
People don't even know.
He's so good, folks. If you get this, when is this coming out? Is this coming out tomorrow? Tomorrow. Yeah, so if you get this July 7th through 9th, Tony Woods at the Mothership. It's probably already sold out. Can't recommend it enough. He's
I
so
did,
good.
Shoreline Amphitheater in Northern California. I think that's what it's called. Just north of San Francisco, with Chappelle and like a lineup, like a festival style lineup. Dude, Tony Woods went up like 5th and did, I don't know, 20 minutes, 18, 20 minutes. And it was 22,000 people.
Woo!
And he got a standing ovation.
God.
And the rest of us just looked at each other and we were like, oh shit. Because we all had to go after him. We were like, fuck. And he got off and I go, what the fuck was that? I go, standing ovation. He goes, it was a college set. That's what because it was like a set that he did at. He goes, it was a college set. I go, what the fuck, man?
What are you talking about? It's a college. That's how calm he is. But
Yeah.
also, Chappelle fans know,
Yeah.
like real hardcore Chappelle fans
that
know.
those-
Yeah, that Dave was really inspired by Tony. And, they've
and
been
Tony took him
friends.
under his wing.
Yes.
Dave was like
Yes,
teenager
a teenager.
in D.C.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they've been friends for decades.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so glad the internet sort of brought Tony Woods back in people's mind.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
guys don't
podcasts.
know if you have not seen this guy.
Yes.
Truly a masterful stand-up.
Masterful.
Yeah.
And the best guy.
Yeah,
He's on the podcast Thursday? Thursday. Yeah.
so fucking
I
funny.
love that guy.
Yeah.
But he's the sweetest guy in the
Yeah.
world, man.
He probably the funny thing is he's probably done what I just described to you so many times that if you brought it up to him, he'd be like,
Oh, yeah. I'm out there killing.
yeah,
But it's that guy that has a total lack of promotion. He doesn't promote. He has zero promotion in him. He doesn't promote anything.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because the talent level's through the fucking roof. He's one of the best comics on earth.
Totally. And
Top 20 on earth.
I bet he could also is one of the guys who legitimately, like at your club, if he wanted to, could do like 5 different sets.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like
He's
for an
been around
hour.
forever.
Yeah.
And he's got material and everything.
That's my theme park set, man.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay. Just an
Oh, that's
hour.
Cowboys are in town.
Yeah.
You know.
You're like, oh, what the fuck? Is that your new hour? That's from 96, man. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, he's a murderer.
Yeah.
It's so good. But, it's like that's the beautiful thing about this business is you will run into those guys that are much more talented than they are popular. It's
Yeah.
interesting. And then you run into people that are much more popular than they are talented.
Yes.
People that are really good at staying popular and not
That's a skill set. That's what you'll realize the longer you do this. And I think that is only relevant in the internet age, in
Yes.
the age of this, where like there are people who always have that thing of like they know how to get people talking about them,
Yes.
and juiced up about them, and it becomes like the thing that they actually worked on.
Right.
You go, what have you been working on? They're like staying popular.
Right. Look
Like
at my
the-
promotions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big thing.
But then you look at their stand up and you go, you got to do that with that stuff.
I remember like an early version of this where this guy was like, "Can you get me on stage at this club?" And I kind of knew, I didn't know him well. I probably should have listened to my own inner dialogue about that. But I was like, you feel the pressure when the person's right in front of you. So I go, all right. So the club owner is there. And I go, can my friend do a spot? And they're like, is he good? And I'm like, yeah. So he goes up And he pretty much just eats shit, right? And I was like, fuck. And so, of course, the club guy is like, the fuck was that?
Right.
And I'm like, I don't know. So I talked to him, and I go, dude, you know, he goes, just if you'll let me do another a set on the Late Show, I'll do a different set. And I was like,
Yeah.
So I go, let him do a different set on the Late Show. And the club owner's like,
No.
are you sure?
No.
And I'm like, yeah.
No.
And here's the thing.
How many years in were you?
A few, not many.
Not now.
And I go, no. And I go, all right. Here's the thing. The reason I even brought this up is that the guy, this is years ago, had like the best website I'd ever seen at the time. I was like, this website's fucking amazing. And like all his marketing tools were incredible.
Yeah.
You know, like he had like cool business card, and like you went to his site and you were like, shit, it
They
looks like.
geolocate.
Yeah, dude. Like
Yeah.
his site looked like fucking Nike built it. You know, I was like, this thing is fucking rad, you know? And he goes up on for his second set. Not only does he eat shit, but he does the same set as the first, right? And I go, dude, you did the same shit. And he was just like, yeah. And I could see he was in the, and I actually left it. I go, all your shit is cool, your website. And I go, you got to work more on what you're doing on stage. So like that's your priority.
Don't you think though that that's like a distraction because
Yes.
they're not working on that other stuff?
1,000%.
So they concentrate on the promotion because they're distracting themselves from the fact they're not working on the difficult stuff.
And not only is that 100% true, but there's so many parallels in life to that.
Sure.
We can all go like, I'm working on this thing to avoid this thing.
Yes.
And then you can, and especially if you get good at the side thing, and then people go like, oh, wow, yeah, your cooking really has gotten incredible. And then
Yes.
you're just like not working on anything else, you know?
Yes.
It's very easy to do.
Very easy.
And we can all trick ourselves. Very, very easy to trick yourself.
Yeah, it's very easy to do. Yeah. It's
With stand-up, it's incredibly easy to be like, I'm working on this other project, though.
right. And you can make excuses. I did that when I was on news radio, for sure. I was doing the same set for like 2 years. I wasn't fixing anything.
Kills you internally.
Killed me. Just my ability. I wasn't connected to the material anymore. I was just saying it, you know. And then I had one set in front of some producers, and I bombed, ate shit. And then I really felt bad. I really felt, because I knew why I ate shit. I knew I had a flat set, which was not connected. And I knew I wasn't working on it. I hadn't written anything in a long time. And then I bore down, and I got way better. Like within 6 months, I was killing. I was doing all this new shit. I was completely reinvigorated. You know, I was also getting better sets too. Like the set I bombed, it was like 1 a.m. in the main room where you cannot be sucky. You have to grab those people and hang on to them. You have to. They have to know you're good. They've seen everything. It's 1 o'clock in the morning.
Horrible.
In Hollywood, and I was, going on after people that were way better than me. I just ate shit.
Yeah, you need those sets, though.
They're so good for you. Those fucking bombs. It's like heartbreak, too. You need those. It sounds like a terrible, counterintuitive thing. To feel bad is good for you, but you need perspective, and the real perspective only comes the hard way.
Disappointment. Yeah, disappointment. Heartbreak, like you
Failure.
said. Heartbreak
Failure.
is a real good one.
Yeah, failure.
Yeah, you fail.
Failure in a relationship, failure in a friendship, failure in a business venture, failure artistically, failure athletically. Failure.
mean-
Yeah, that shit right there. Dude, when you were saying the patella, I had a patella tendon graft on my left knee when I got my ACL reconstructed, and they took a slice of the patella. They were like, "Don't worry about it. The thing's really big." I was like, now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, how big is it?
And mine snapped.
blows out.
He goes like 93% of patellar tendon tears happen at a connection point. In other words, there's 2 points of connection, either at the on the patella or on the the tibia. It might be incorrect.
Yeah.
He's like, you're snapped in the middle. He goes, which just takes a tremendous amount of force, which makes sense when you think about how, because I was leaping. He's like, you're leaping as hard as you can.
Right. And you were tired, and you'd fucked it up a couple of days before, right?
I fucked it up earlier that day.
Oh Jesus!
And so, and he's like, so it's a really weird, like it's an unusual place to tear.
Injuries, bro.
Injuries, yeah.
I've had so many.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's another good thing about martial arts and jiu-jitsu. It's like I understand like that there's stuff you have to do to make sure you don't get injured as often. Like that's one of the reasons why I stay strong. Like I don't want to be weak. When you're weak, you get hurt. You know, and old people, that's one of the major reasons why they fall down. Is just they're feeble.
Yeah.
You know, there's an interesting video, not a video, photography series of cross sections of people's anatomy done through MRI. Mm-hmm. So they show a 70-year-old sedentary person next to a 70-year-old triathlete. It's wild. Mm-hmm. They show a 40-year-old sedentary person next to a 40-year-old triathlete.
Yeah.
And there's all these, I mean, obviously, I'm not saying you have to be a triathlete, but just being strong enough to do stuff is so important. The only way you get that way is lifting weights and working out.
The only thing I keep preaching to my friends and my family circle of people I'm around, especially guys and women, I want to make that point too, women too, is you have to have resistance, weight resistance. People get into when they hear that, they keep thinking like tremendously heavyweight.
No.
Like, oh, I'm not going to be a powerlifter. And you're like, no shit.
Yeah.
Like, and you shouldn't even try to be. Just.
Yeah, there it is. Look at the cross section. So the top is the guy who has the workout schedule, and it's all muscle. And then the bottom is just mostly fat, the same size leg. And there's just this weak ass, bitch ass muscle around the fat.
Yeah.
When I see that, I want to leg kick him. That bottom one, just imagine
Well, you know
what
what you
kind
see
of damage
too,
you
like
would do
because
slamming a shin into that.
When you're in the hotel gyms, and sometimes you see these dudes of all ages, but I would say starting at like 40 into the 70s is the guy who walks in with kind of like the beginning of dropped head syndrome, like this, and immediately you know this guy's going to the elliptical or treadmill because that guy doesn't lift weights.
Right.
No, but like, and all you'd have to do, like, not all you have to do, but if you want to avoid that path, weight training.
Yeah.
Start lifting weights.
Yeah.
Have some type of resistance training. Put your body under that stress, your muscles and your skeletal structure under the stress of picking up something and resisting. Build your muscle.
Yeah.
I have like this conversation with my cousins and my siblings and my friends all the time who I see on the path of like not touching weights.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you're not gonna be fine just doing the elliptical.
Right.
You're gonna deteriorate.
Even guys that I know that do jujitsu, especially as they get into their 40s, I always tell them, "You're not working out. You're not, other than training. You're only doing jujitsu." And they're like, "Yeah." I go, "Dude, at least once a week you should be lifting weights. At least once a week. You really should be doing it a little bit every day."
Yeah.
The key is a little every day. That's the Pavel Tsatsouline method. You know, I think if you're doing something else like jujitsu, you can get by with a couple of workouts in the morning and a couple of workouts in the afternoon where you're not even killing yourself. You're just like doing some kettlebells, doing some chin-ups, doing some push-ups, but you're making your body do these things. Even if you do only one set of chin-ups, you do 10 chin-ups, do 20 dips, do 20 push-ups, do 20 bodyweight squats. Just do that. Just do that. Just that. That's weight. It's your physical weight, your body weight.
Yeah.
You know, and if you can get some kettlebells and do, 10 clean presses each side.
Yeah.
It's not a lot. It'll take you 2 minutes. Do it in the morning, do it at
for your
night.
body.
Do it twice. If you do that all the time, your body just gets accustomed to doing that all the time. And then you develop tissue that protects your joints and your tendons get stronger. And then, you have the ability to do stuff.
Yeah. But you can tell, I mean, like, those scans are wild, obviously. Then you're seeing the real thing.
Yeah.
But when I see just, like, regular dudes that are older and you see the guy that is active,
Yeah, man.
it really blows you away. Just the way that they stand.
Yeah.
They stand a different way.
Yeah, man.
And their shoulders are back, and you go, oh, man, this guy's been active for 40 years.
Yeah.
And the guy that is fucking walking down the hall like this.
I always find those dads. That, like, when I have these parent-teacher things, I'm like, that guy lifts weights.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah. You click with him.
I met this Jack dude the other day.
The image
I was
showed
like, you're
you
my
left
new
out-
friend.
Left out the 40-year-old. It looks the same.
Yeah, the 40-year-old triathlete. I was trying to explain that, but that was just, yeah, it's basically the same. Same
Wow.
amount of muscle tissue.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Well,
Was that at a parent-teacher thing?
yeah, he's a super jack guy.
Yeah.
T-shirt, shorts. I was like, look at you, buddy.
Yeah.
We're hanging in there.
That's cool. Yeah. That's the
Yeah.
thing, though, is you start to be drawn to people like that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I know that guy's fucking putting in the work.
Yeah.
Like a guy who can be that fit at 55 years old, when I
like-
see him, I'm like,
like,
all right,
it's a
that
winner.
guy-
Yeah.
I can hang out with that guy.
I wanna hang out with that winner mentality.
Yeah, that guy knows how to do it. If you're still, you haven't quit now,
Yeah.
and you're driving a Porsche, so you have money.
Yeah.
So like, okay, why you haven't laid back now? Okay,
You got to get that portion.
that's my buddy.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I just you can not do it. You don't have to. But
No.
if you want your life to be better, it's one of those things. It has to be done.
Yeah, and you guys like who are in their 50s are just you're gonna be the guys that in your 60s and 70s people go like, you're fucking 65?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, there was this dude that was training with Tim Kennedy a couple months back. He posted on his Instagram, and then his dad came. His dad was 70, six-pack, fit as fuck.
Really?
Like, this is wild. 70. Okay, canary in the coal mine. That's what I used to say about Stallone. He was my canary in the coal mine.
Yeah. He still gets
He
after
got
it.
fat as fuck though at one point in time.
He did.
Yeah, he got a giant belly. I don't know if that was for a movie.
He did.
Is that for a movie?
Yeah, there was a movie where he plays like either a police officer or a security guard, and they told him,
You got to get fat.
you got to get fat. He did. He was like, I was eating pancakes every day. He's just
Wow,
like, he went.
that's a rough thing to do when you're 70.
I think this was actually, it was a little while ago for this one, so maybe we're thinking about two different movies. But yeah, that.
Oh
one.
no! I remember that. That was a very good movie.
Yeah, he
What
actually
movie
gained
was
that
Like
weight.
there's like a flood or something, right?
What was that
Copland.
movie? Copland. That was a very good movie, and he was very good in it.
He was.
He can act.
Yeah, he can. But I remember watching him talk about gaining weight for that.
Right.
So you're saying a different one.
No, it's recent.
Oh,
it's
okay.
recent. He was on the beach, and I think he was going through a divorce. He was probably drinking a lot of beer.
Oh, okay.
Because he got divorced for a little while.
He
Or
did?
he was getting divorced, and
Oh.
he stopped getting. Why do I know this? But there's a Sylvester Stallone belly on beach. He was real fat on the beach. See, we're used to him looking like in that picture where he's got the T-shirt.
Yeah. How old is he now?
See, look at him.
Yeah.
That's not even a bad one. Some of the other ones are like, yeah, there he is. Like, he's fucking huge belly.
Yeah.
That's beer, son. That's beer and lasagna.
Yeah.
That's what that is. That's giving in to them guinea instincts.
Yeah. For sure.
Dude, when we went to the Bronx, we went to New Jersey, had a UFC a month ago.
Is this the sandwich thing you
Yes.
posted?
It was
Do you know
so
that-
good.
Do you know that like my salivary glands watching this video were like,
Like a dog.
I think one of
Yeah.
my favorite, like when you talk about like your favorite things to eat, for me, like an Italian sub, like a genuine Italian one with all the meats.
This guy, Giovanni, from GNR Deli in the Bronx. These are the
Is that like a
real...
caprese?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Oh my God. That one right there, I think that was chicken cutlet with sun-dried peppers and fresh mozzarella.
Yeah.
And that's just one of them, but there was a bunch of different sandwiches that he made.
This was in the Bronx?
Yeah, that's my man, Tommy Jr. And this was one that they made with pork. It was fantastic. Dude, these people know how to eat. Italians know how to eat. They go hard. And this guy, Giovanni, you go to his, see that one in the back? That's
Yeah.
what they call the Bronx Godfather. That's fucking sensational. It's the greatest Italian sub I've ever had in my life. It was so good. Dude, I overate so hardcore.
Yeah,
I
like
ate, and
sick.
they gave us, so they're so generous. They
Yeah.
gave us like a tray of sandwiches, and we brought them to the UFC. So I was telling all the other on-air guys, I'm like, DC loves his food.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, come have a sandwich.
He was like, oh, shit.
Oh, yeah, they grabbed, look at my fat face.
Yeah. That looks amazing.
Yeah, so I'll go off the rails, bro.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I'll go off
sometimes
the
you
rails
have
every
to.
now and then.
Come on.
Yeah. I went out to dinner with Matt Serra and John Rollo the other day. So it was 3 guineas at Red Ash. So I had to go off the rails. I had the bone marrow with the garlic bread. But I'll do that one meal, maybe a week,
Yeah.
but mostly not.
Yeah. Well, you can't, I mean, if you do it all the time, it's a
Yeah,
disaster.
you just have to make sure you don't do it all the time. That's the thing.
When I take people to Red Ash, I turn into like an ambassador. Like I'm like, please, like show them what you guys do, and like I have them bring like
Yeah.
10 dishes.
Well, we've had a bunch of employee meetings there especially before we started the club.
Yeah.
Like sort of bonding meetings.
It's hard to not indulge at Red Ash. Though.
It's amazing, and we would tell them just have the chef bring over anything,
Yeah.
everything, and they would just bring over plates.
It's
of
incredible.
Stuff.
It's incredible.
It was amazing.
I can't wait to go back. Actually,
Yeah, it's a great place. Well, Austin is amazing for food.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's such a good place for food. There's so many good restaurants here.
popping up all the time.
Yeah.
There's already good places, and they keep happening. New shit here just keeps opening. That you're like, oh my.
Have you been to Lonesome Dove?
I have not.
Oh my God, so good.
What's
It's
the,
so good. They sell rattlesnake sausage. They serve, I should say, rattlesnake sausage. A lot of wild game dishes.
There's a southern one that I went to here. So fucking good. I went with Philip. Philip Lee.
What was the name of it?
I gotta look it up.
Okay.
I'll ask him.
There's so many places here, man.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
so-
his places too are in.
Oh yeah,
outrageous.
no, his places are insane. That Sushi by Scratch out in where's that at? What's
You go here, Fixie.
No.
I've heard that place is the shit too.
Is it
though. I heard-
Ola May? Could that be it?
Oh, I think I don't know. That Fixie, that place is supposed to be fantastic. Do you say Fixie or Fix? How do you say it? Whatever it is,
Texas
Fixie.
is probably Fixie.
I heard that place is fantastic. There's so many good places out here. There's good. Have you been to Abba?
Yes.
That place is great too.
Yes.
Amazing.
They're Olame. There you go.
That's it.
Olame, yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
That place is outstanding.
Damn, son.
That's outstanding.
Damn.
Yeah.
Food.
So good.
Yeah, I went to NADC Burger last night.
Which one?
NADC Burger.
Oh, not a damn
Phillips-
chance
yeah,
burger. It's Phillips Burger Place. It might be the best burger on earth.
good.
Oh yeah, that's his too.
It might be the best
Yeah.
burger on earth. The only person in contention is the Golden Tiger.
It's like I wanted to eat two, but
Golden Tiger's pretty fucking good
That's
too.
that one I have not been to,
Ooh.
and I almost got it
Ooh.
after the club one night.
Philip told me it was the greatest burger he's ever had. That's why Philip decided to make NADC burger.
Really?
He wanted to like perfect the American cheeseburger.
Golden Tiger, is it downtown?
East side? Yeah, east side.
That's open late, right?
Yeah, real late. It's like a food truck and it has outdoor seating. It's amazing.
I got to try it.
It's so good, dude.
Fuck.
Yeah,
I think it might be also one of my favorite things in the world is just a simply made cheeseburger.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Last time I was there, I ate 3 cheeseburgers and a chicken sandwich.
At Golden Tiger?
Yeah.
Three?
3.
And a chicken
And a chicken sandwich.
Fried
I might
chicken?
have been high. Yeah, that was an off the rails moment. I have my off the rails moments. Yeah, phenomenal.
See, that looks so good. I like anything fried now just ruins me. And I don't think another thing that I absolutely love is a fried chicken sandwich.
You know what I really miss? Fried chicken and waffles at Roscoe's.
Oh, Roscoe's. Come on, man. LA staple.
Yeah, with the hot sauce on the chicken and the maple syrup on the waffles and the butter. Slice it up. Hope you don't get shot. Eat it all. Look at that.
Oh, man.
Woo. That food is so good.
It's so good.
It's a wild
dude.
place too. You go there, there's a lot of people. Like last time I was there was a lot of people I knew there. A lot of comics.
Yeah.
A lot of dudes from the store were there. I was like, it's such a classic LA place.
Yeah. Was it on Union?
Well, there's one that was near us. I say us when we had Sunset and Gower.
Yeah, that's right.
News Radio. It was
Yeah,
right
that's
down
right.
the street. So we used to get it for lunch there.
It's the shit. And yet it's one of those things, the first time you hear it, you're like, what are you talking about?
Why would you make chicken with waffles?
What?
It doesn't even make sense.
And then you sit there.
and you
you're
eat it. But it's also like the perfect chicken. Like their chicken's off the charts.
like, yeah, fried chicken.
It's just, but it's also, it's like that recipe. They got it down. They've been doing it forever.
Yeah.
They know exactly how to serve you a Roscoe's fried chicken. Where
Yeah.
you eat it, you're like, oh, this is what I was waiting for.
Yeah, and then the sugar rush from the waffle.
And the fucking butter.
Yeah.
And then you dip the chicken in the fucking,
And then
maybe a
you're
little
just
hot
like,
sauce too. Fuck it, let's go. Woo!
I need naps right after that. though.
Naps. Yeah, your insulin crashes. Your whole body's
It's
like,
all
what?
done.
Your sugar crashes.
Like, what are you doing to us, man? Yeah.
What is this?
And then you think, though, that there's people who
Poison.
eat like that every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
I remember one time I had a double cheeseburger with fries and a large milkshake. It was like a large milkshake. And by the time I finished the large milkshake, I literally felt like I got poisoned.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Felt terrible.
Of course.
It was not worth it.
No.
There's no. It's the wildest trick your body does to you is to, especially with like a big heavy sugar meal.
Yeah.
Your body tricks you into thinking it's good while you're doing it.
It does. It's totally a trick. You know that when you eat to capacity feeling, like beyond, and you're like, I feel sick. I think I ate like that every day for 15 years.
Yeah, that's my number one problem.
Yeah, I was like,
But I don't do that when I eat the carnivore diet. I
the
don't
meat.
do it.
Yeah.
Meat has a high level of satiety, I think is the word, which means
You feel
get
satiated?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get satiated real quickly. You
Yeah.
know, when your body's had enough, you're like, yeah, you've had enough.
you had enough.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like, it's good.
But then you just look over at that freezer. You're like, is there ice cream in there?
You guys got ice cream? You got to earn that ice cream, son.
Ice cream is a
Yeah.
that's
That's a hard one.
yeah. Ice cream.
I'll eat a whole fucking pint of that shit. I'll get in there.
Yeah, I'll do the shit where like I see them, you know, at the grocery store,
Yeah.
and I start grabbing, and then all of a sudden, like the next day, Christine will be like, "Are there 6 different pints of ice cream in there?" And I'm like, "I don't know. The kids are here. I thought they might like them." They're like, "What are you talking about?"
The kids are here. The
Yeah.
kids ate ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me, it was mint chocolate chip.
Really? Yeah. I actually love chocolate chip, not mint.
Really?
Yes.
I like chocolate chip, not mint too.
Yeah, that shit's that is my absolute favorite.
I remember the first time I got high with Eddie. He took me we went to Baskin Robbins and I had an ice cream sundae and I was like, this is the greatest thing the world has ever invented. A hot fudge sundae.
Bro.
I was like, it was insane. Whatever the fuck marijuana does to your senses of like, especially your sense of taste,
Yeah.
it's insane.
Oh yeah, we used to in college. We used to get high out of our minds, like full bong rips, joints, like just eyes bleeding, like, and then we would take a blender, put in like a whole tub of ice cream, milk, and then scoops of peanut butter. Blend that up, and it just felt like you were drinking peanut butter. And that when you're high, it's like, and I would do it until I vomited. Like I would drink them until I puked. Because there's no alarm that goes off.
Right.
That goes stop. You're like, no, it's too. You feel like
Yeah.
a dog, like an animal. Just like if you leave a dog around the food it wants, it just eats it until it's sick. You know.
Your body has to be so confused as to what form this food is taking too.
Yeah.
Like if you're having like a milkshake, there's so much sugar, and it's frozen, and there's milk. Like what is this?
What is
The
this?
fuck is this? Your
Yeah.
body has no reference. Like if your body's eating an apple, like this is a very sweet apple, but it's an apple.
Yeah.
I know what to do with this. Your body's eating that. It's like what the fuck is this?
What is this?
What is this?
It's not. Yeah.
Like an ice cold Coca-Cola. Oh my god, your body's like, give me more of that. What the fuck is that?
Also, that we all know it. That formula at McDonald's, why that's the best tasting Coke and Diet Coke on the planet.
Why?
They have it because what happens is when you're an establishment like a restaurant, you get a formula. Like the gun has a blend, and there's definitely a different formula at McDonald's.
Oh, has there been anything written about this?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Oh, if you drive by a McDonald's and you get a Diet Coke, you'll be like, what the fuck?
Okay, typically restaurants get their soda syrups in plastic bags, but Coca-Cola does something different for McDonald's. The fast food chain gets their Coke syrup delivered in stainless steel tanks. According to the New York Times, the material keeps the soda fresher, and your tongue can taste the difference.
1,000% it can.
Right, but is it a more potent blend, or is it just because it's in the tanks?
I don't know, but it does taste so much better.
It says their filtration system is top tier. It is superior. Wow, there's all these articles about it being superior.
And I would say both. Like regular Coke,
Interesting.
you'll all of a
McDonald's
sudden
has an
you're like, oh man. And
McDonald's
Diet
has an
Coke.
article.
Yeah.
McDonald's does. It says, there are many reasons the Coca-Cola tastes so great at McDonald's. We simply follow the guidelines set by Coca-Cola and take steps to ensure that we serve a high-quality fountain beverage. Well, congratulations, you do that.
Yes.
The water and Coca-Cola syrup are pre-chilled before entering our fountain dispensers with the ratio syrup set to allow for ice to melt. Oh, so that it doesn't get watered down with the ice. So they are making it stronger.
But doesn't
that's
this-
smart.
Isn't this tell you something though, that how everything is in the details? You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
this is something that probably a restaurant would be like, Coca-Cola would say you should do this, and they go, whatever.
Right.
You know, like whatever. We'll just put it in the gun and send, but I believe that McDonald's sticks to that because it is consistent and it is so much different tasting.
Even what they said about their straws.
Yeah.
So their straws are typically wider than the typical straw.
So you have a different amount coming in.
Yeah, give it to me. Right in my face hole, you fuckheads.
Fuck my mouth with Coke. Yeah.
Yeah, big
So-
old fat tube of it.
So fucking
Extra
good.
syrupy, because what if the ice melts?
Yeah. Oh.
What if the ice melts? You
Even
don't
their
want
ice
some...
is better there.
They have better ice?
They have better
They have
ice.
filtered water, they said.
There you go.
By the way, we're not paid by McDonald's for this.
No.
I don't even eat that stuff. But if I did, it's filet of fishes.
Filet of
I
fish.
could eat 5 of those fuckers.
Really?
I love fillets of fishes. I don't even know what that is.
McDonald's has this thing too where there's a temperature swing where it goes from being the best thing you can eat at that moment to
Right.
like this is
Unedible.
dog food.
Right.
Yeah, like you're like throw this down.
I was in California a few months ago, and I had a quarter pounder. It was actually quite a while ago, 10 months ago. And I had a quarter pounder for the first time in fucking forever.
Yeah.
But I was starving.
Yeah.
And I had to eat, and I was headed to the airport. I'm like, just pull in this drive-thru
Yeah.
real quick. I get a quarter pounder. It's so sweet.
So, yeah.
Like I could taste the sugar in
Yeah.
a quarter pounder.
Their bread even is I think
Yeah,
is
it
sweet.
tasted like a pastry.
Yeah.
I was like, this is interesting. It was very good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I really did. I'm a quarter pounder fan.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing, but it's fucking delicious.
That's the thing I think you really notice about certain foods when you stay away from them for a while, is that when you reintroduce them, you go, "Oh, I didn't realize that this tastes way different."
yeah,
This is-
way different. I thought it was going to taste like an In-N-Out cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Like a cheeseburger. Like In-N-Out is the gold standard for me. For fast food places, you can't fuck with In-N-Out.
But
In
they
my-
have a standard.
And Five Guys.
They have I mean, In-N-Out has high standards.
Oh, yeah, but I
whether or
mean-
not they are for your palate, you can't
Right.
negate that they have high standards.
Some people hate their fries. I'm like,
I know.
How can you hate their fries?
They're
What are
you
a
seeing
communist?
them chop the potatoes in the
Yeah.
back.
I just wish they did it in beef tallow because they do it in some bullshit seed oils.
That's what they.
Yeah, I'm sure. What does In-N-Out use oil for their fries? Everybody uses like canola oil, which is basically industrial lubricant. That stuff was invented to lube up machines.
Really?
Sunflower oil.
Sunflower oil, same shit.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to get that much sunflower oil in your body at one point in time. It's not normal.
But they definitely. I've seen.
Sounds
them,
healthy, doesn't it?
It does actually. Sunflower
Yeah.
sounds good.
That shit's not healthy.
You watch them. They're chopping the produce right there.
Oh
like
yeah, right in
fresh
front of you.
tomatoes, and you're like-
Right in front of you.
Come on.
The meat is fresh. It's not frozen.
And
And,
there's
you
a
can
nice-
taste it.
Nice biblical verse on the bottom of the cup.
Oh, that's so sweet.
It's beautiful.
You know what I love? Flying Dutchman's.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
the secret
what I
menu.
Get. Yeah, that's what I get.
The secret menu is really fascinating. They have it.
I know it's wild.
Yeah.
Animal style and all that jazz.
Yeah. Nothing's on. Not printed though.
Yeah, how do you find that out? You gotta
I-
know somebody.
Yeah. Somebody told me about it the first time, and then I Googled it, and it's much more extensive than you. It's not like 2 or 3 things.
Oh yeah, it's a shit ton.
it's
of
a
things.
lot of things. Yeah.
It's things I've never even heard of
yeah.
before.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's fucking delicious. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm a fan.
I'm a fan.
I
But
also
it
love-
is such a different taste though than a McDonald's burger. McDonald's burger is like, it was sweet. I'd like to know how many grams of sugar is in a quarter pounder.
It's got to be. And I'm telling you, it's got to be from that bread too. That bread
It's got to
is
be
sweet.
from everything. It seems like it's from the ketchup too. It
Yeah.
seemed like the condiments had some sugar.
higher sugar content.
Yeah, it just tasted like it had sugar in it. Like I'm real sensitive to that, so I eat it. I'm like, it was good though.
I also love a Chick-fil-A sandwich.
Ooh, I love a Chick-fil-A. Yeah, I love your wife's joke about them. She's so funny,
Yeah,
man.
she's great.
Oh, she's so funny. 10 grams. 10 grams of sugar.
8 of it's added, though, so that might be the bread.
Okay, so it's 2 natural and 8 added. So it must be 8 grams of sugar in the bread.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's in a quarter pounder.
Yeah, that's kind of a lot.
Yeah,
Like a really sugary drink.
Maybe
Like-
it's the ketchup, even. It's supposed to be
Yeah,
on there
that's
with
what I was saying too. I felt like the ketchup was kind of sweet. So it's probably the bun and the ketchup. Good though.
so good.
It's a good move to put that 8 grams in there.
Yeah, it's so fucking good.
It makes it more delicious if you're only looking for something delicious.
You ever heard of the McDonald's secret menu?
no.
They
What?
have some weird shit on here like this.
The land, sea, and air burger.
Fish fillet, chicken, and burger.
The difference is though, I feel like if
They'll
you
stab you if you order that.
if you order that, first of all, I think they'd be like, "The fuck are you talking about?"
Look at this McCrape. The
McGangbang?
McGangbang? Shut the
There's
fuck
no
up.
way.
I think
Come
these
on.
are real, I swear.
Are you serious?
I don't know which place is going to really know about them, but I've seen people ask, like, they follow through with a video and go ask for some of this stuff.
What?
There's a weird viral thing going on right now with them because they have a Grimace milkshake.
Yeah.
People are making some crazy videos about like what happened to me after I drank.
Oh,
this
like
crazy
Red
milkshake.
Band did with.
100%. Yeah. Just like that.
What
Remember
happened?
what Red Band did with Pepsi Spice?
No.
Did you never knew about that?
No.
It's the greatest troll Red Band ever pulled off.
Really?
Red Band bought PepsiSpice.com, and then he documented his enjoying delicious Pepsi Spice. And so as he's drinking Pepsi Spice, he's losing weight. He's getting blood in his diarrhea. He's dying. At the end, he's making videos. This is like young Red Band, Pepsi Spice Project promo. I don't know what this has to do with anything. What does that have to do
Oh
with
my
Pepsi?
God. Is
In
he
the
blowing
bathroom,
himself?
Yeah, he's in the bathroom doing stuff. But yeah.
So he's filming himself drinking Pepsi Spice
Pepsi
with
Spice.
himself. So anyway, he bought PepsiSpice.com, and he had to give it to Pepsi after a while.
Oh, really?
But I mean, I think it still exists somewhere online.
But
it's
they came to him and they were like,
hey, you motherfucker, we'll
Yeah.
kill you. Because it went viral, at the
Yeah.
time, like
Yeah.
whatever viral is in the year 2001.
imagine like the threat from a corporation like that. With
Oh my
this.
God.
blog for
Yeah.
it.
The Pepsi Spice Project.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very funny.
Weight continues to add. I like the stamp yesterday. It
It
sizzled.
sizzled.
I'm afraid to have sex. I keep thinking that my overcaffeinated sperm would blow a hole through the back of a girl's head. Like, what the fuck?
Stupid.
It's just so stupid.
It's so stupid. But that's the funnest thing to do is a stupid bit.
But
It's
that's
yeah.
Red Band.
Yeah.
He loves silly shit.
Yeah.
So for him, it was like the ultimate platform
Yeah.
to find a non-sophisticated company
Yeah.
that doesn't recognize the internet. So you didn't buy PepsiSpice.com before you released Pepsi Spice, you fucking idiots.
idiots. Yeah.
Back then, companies didn't even care about
No.
websites. What's a website? We sell
Even now,
Pepsi.
people still can like hose. You see it on social media where they'll
Yeah.
grab a Twitter handle and the company hasn't locked it down yet. People will
Right.
tweet like they're from that company.
Well, people are tweeting like they're from Bud Light now because
Oh my God.
there's Bud Light. If you go Bud Light _ so they're making these like very subtle commercials that are like almost is like nothing goes with wieners like Bud Light.
Wow.
And it's like 2 hot dogs.
I didn't
And
realize.
people are like, "What is this?
What
is
is
this
this?
real? Is this a
Yeah.
parody account?" And then it is a parody
Yeah.
account, but it's subtle.
I didn't realize that like what's it called? Them people abandoning it would be that like I didn't
It's
realize
crazy.
It really has stuck, and there was I saw an article about revenue and like and the share that they have of the market and how it has totally taken a shift.
Like $26 billion.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
They really, really did. That's the word I was looking for. They were boycotting it.
Yeah. And then the trans movement got mad that they didn't support Dylan Mulvaney. So a lot of like LBGTQ and whatever the other letters are, those bars stopped carrying Bud Light.
So it's
because they felt
really-
like Bud Light didn't back them up. And then there was video footage of them sponsoring a pride parade. So it's like a Bud Light parade truck with a bunch of people dancing around like, we like to fuck guys too. And I'm a girl. And
Yeah.
I like to fuck girls. And like, it's whatever it is. It's like they're like dancing around inside this.
Yeah.
So now they're advertising in front of the pride people. And so then the people are like, oh, they're fucking doubling down. It's like they can't win.
No.
So the pride people are mad. How weird is it that when you say pride,
Yeah.
people immediately think of gay?
Pride means gay. Yeah.
How wild is that?
Yeah.
That they did that.
Yeah. They own like it's
Cain Velasquez has brown pride tattooed on his chest.
yeah.
Now people are like, what are you trying to say?
He's gay brown. Yeah.
What is that? What are you trying to say? It used to be you were proud.
Right. No.
Now
that's-
it's gay.
it definitely means
Wild.
queer. Yeah.
Pride Month.
Queer month.
I mean, imagine you don't even have to say gay pride anymore.
Yeah.
You say Pride Month. How insidious. They snuck it in. They slowly took over pride. Like they took over the rainbow.
Rainbows are it's so funny to think that University of Hawaii used to have rainbows on their helmets.
Can't have it anymore.
Well, that also I
Too
think
beautiful.
I think the football team was like, "Can we get something else?" Like it was not even related to gay. They were like,
Shouldn't we
we're-
be the Tiger
Yeah,
Sharks?
it's like give us, and they finally changed it.
What are
like,
they now?
Well, I forget what but they put a more badass design on the helmets. But for years, it was a rainbow, because it was like Hawaii, it was supposed to be. And they were like, come on, man, we're supposed to be out to. Yeah, that was on the side of a helmet. Now it's on the bottom. It's like that H,
Isn't that crazy, though? The rainbow has become, I mean, it's gay. Rainbow's a gay thing.
Rainbows are gay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is now. Pride, it's a gay thing. The word is, like, if you say you have straight pride, people are like, really?
Yeah, of course.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah, you should.
First of all, why?
Yeah.
If you're 99% of the people.
Proud to
Fuck
be straight.
what are you proud of?
Yeah.
Fuck are you proud of? Like, they had a straight pride parade. And I was like, if I was a gay guy trying to fuck a guy in the closet, that's where I would go.
Totally.
I'd go to that straight pride parade and see who's yelling the loudest.
Let me see who I can get over here. Yeah.
You want to argue? It's just such a weird time, man. Such a weird time because, unfortunately, because of social media, now anything that you do, you can form an identity around it, and then it can be like your identity in terms of like your source of like how you view yourself in the world. You no longer view yourself in the world as just a human being that's just accepted for whatever you're interested in. Now you're in like a very specific category or group, and then there's other people in that group, and you think there's people that are opposed to you, and there are people that are opposed to them.
Yeah.
So then you're in conflict. Now you're part of a gang, that's going to go after those people that are against us. Fuck them. It's wild.
Yeah. It's
It's wild.
exhausting, too.
Exhausting.
Yeah.
Exhausting. And
Yeah.
people want to fight. They want to argue about shit.
Don't you just feel like, I don't know, I get such mental fatigue from a lot of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like I'm an observer, and I kind of put it to the side and go, you can't entertain and ingest every one of these things going on.
Well, if you're a conspiracy theorist,
Yeah.
this is the real conspiracy. The conspiracy is have as many social problems as possible
To
that
distract.
people get distracted by, that people concentrate on, whether it's a pandemic, whether it's masks, vaccines, pride, trans movement, sponsor drag shows for kids if you want people to get mad and want people to get distracted.
Right.
Sponsor
Let them
that.
focus on that.
Get
Yeah.
people to think that it's a good idea to do that and watch the outrage. Get people to think that the oceans are going to be boiling in 5 years.
Right.
Get people to think that if we don't change it, like that was one of the things that Greta Thunberg said 5 years ago, that we'll all be dead.
In 5 years?
Well, it's 5 years later,
Yeah.
and we're not all dead. So you definitely are wrong, and you're 16. So why are they flying you out to Ukraine? Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
So there's so many of these fucking social distractions that are in our face all day long about everything. And I feel like sometimes that's what I feel like about Supreme Court rulings. We're going to take away Roe v. Wade. And everybody's like, what the fuck? What?
Yeah.
What? And that's another one.
Yeah.
And then that one becomes a thing that people identify as the most important problem that they have to solve. And while all this is going on, money's getting moved around, decisions are getting made.
Yeah.
And it's a brilliant cover for
It is.
wild shit.
Yeah, because all you have to do ever really is follow the money on anything.
Yeah.
And you see what's actually happening, and everything else is a distraction to that.
Bro, I've been following this Hunter Biden shit. You see he was smoking crack while he's driving 175 miles an hour to Vegas in a Porsche?
Yeah, but to be fair, it was a Turbo S, and those are thrilling to drive.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine. It's probably easy to get 175 in that fucking car.
Easy. Those are amazing.
That's a rocket ship.
It really is.
That is a rocket ship.
Those are incredible.
And the way that thing handles, oh my goodness.
You get behind the Turbo S and tell me you don't want to hit 175.
Yeah.
Especially if there's like,
No one there.
not only that, if there's hookers at the end of it. then
And you're on
fucking-
crack.
Wah, yeah.
And he's smoking crack while he's driving
Smoking
175.
Wow. Now he really has substantial issues. I mean, because I'm saying
Or
Yeah.
he's lived the dream. What's the dream?
Yeah.
What's the dream? If you're a fucking total degenerate, what's the dream? Smoking crack, getting hookers, driving fast as fuck, and making millions of dollars through illegal activity because your dad's rich.
175, but also this fucking thing of like, he's always filmed doing this. This is always
He films himself.
That's what I'm saying, self-imposed. So then he posted it.
No. I think they found it, but who knows what's real anymore? That's another
Right.
problem. Like any video you see today, could be
He's going through the desert doing this.
Uh-huh. Yeah, but a lot of people do that.
Yeah,
That's
no, I know.
It's a famous place for people driving fast.
That's booking though. That's different.
Oh yeah, he's
I've
booking.
hit 100 and a little over. 175 is
175 is insane.
That's
Things are coming
really-
so quick.
really moving, man.
I mean, what's the top end of that car? It's probably like 200.
Yeah, probably like a little over that. But yeah.
175 is so fast. Seriously. Exclusive. Life in the Fast Lane. How reckless Hunter Biden photographed himself driving, and he's photographing it while he's going 172.
God.
While behind the wheel of his Porsche en route to days-long Vegas bender with prostitutes, and pictured himself smoking crack while behind the wheel. Wow.
Okay. Oh, so it was back in
Shoo.
2018, but they just
Leave him
released it.
alone. It was just it was years ago.
Damn.
It was years ago. Look at him. Imagine partying with that dude. I almost had a chance to get that guy on the podcast.
Really?
Yeah, man. They reached out when his memoir was coming out, but then all the shit hit the fan about him. I was like, nah, I'm not really interested. And then I started reading all the stuff he did. I was like, oh my God, he's insane.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, look at that. Hot. But he's driving in a residential neighborhood smoking crack. Well, he's in a residential neighborhood.
And that's no turbo. S.
So what is that? Oh, that's a Turbo S.
No, I meant like if the odometer was, if that one is, I think that's a different car.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look at it. It's an automatic too. But it says manual. See? M?
It might have a.
Yeah,
manual
he's in
setting.
D, and then maybe. Who fucking has a. Do they have. I don't know.
Yeah,
what
because
it
they
is.
let you like
Right.
hit it over.
Paddle
Yeah.
shifters.
But
I don't know if that's the same car.
I don't know if it is either.
Woo,
Jeez.
hoes in different area codes.
Why would you film it?
Because he's having a party.
That's true.
When he's an old man, he wants to look back. Yeah, I didn't go to Bohemian Grove, but you know what I did? I smoked street crack with hookers in Vietnam.
Oh, there's a.
Tells a prostitute he had a laptop stolen. Oh, no.
And then he's talking to her while he's recording it.
Well, that dude was off the charts, out of his mind.
Yeah,
mean-
crack is.
I mean, he was out of his mind. I mean, he was basically like Ray Liotta looking for helicopters all day long.
I talked to one time to Dr. Drew because he's worked with so many like drug users about the different drugs, right, and like how they can affect your brain. And he said that there's certain drugs that most could like try, and basically you could try it. And you might be able to just be like, I did that, and go on with your life, right?
Right.
Like, and not have an addiction. And of course, he's not saying to do that.
Right.
He's saying
it's possible.
but he said the one that has the highest probability to switch something in most people's brains, where the chemical composition, it's like a light switch hits where you'll never be the same, is crack. He said crack, people that are completely fine trying this and trying that, he said that's the one where you can do it and just everything forever, your brain has changed and will be basically in the pursuit of crack.
The next Sober October we should do
Crack.
we should smoke crack before
And see.
October. Like right before it. See who can not smoke crack through the whole month of October.
That'd be a real challenge.
I don't think it would. Norman said he smoked crack once. He said he hated it.
But what Drew was saying is that like,
Oh, but no, wait a minute. Norman ate crack
Oh,
because he
ate
thought it was
crack.
Molly.
Okay.
Remember? Yeah, someone gave him crack and he thought it was Molly.
real.
And so he just ate it with his girlfriend at the Louvre in Paris.
At the Louvre in Paris.
Yeah. Was it the Eiffel Tower or the Louvre? One of them places.
God
They're in
damn.
Paris. So he's having he's like, hey, we're going to have a good time. Take this Molly I got off a fucking stranger. And it's crack.
Fuck.
I'm like, Norman, why are you doing drugs off of strangers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then he ate it. And
Ari tried to give me some acid once off a stranger.
No.
I'm going to have some of this acid. You want some? I go, you going to give me acid from a stranger? I go, do you know how that story turns out?
Ari didn't give a fuck.
Yeah. Ari, you don't give a fuck. I have a business to run.
Yeah,
I have employees. I have a family.
People throw shit on stage.
Yeah. You don't even have kids, you fuckhead.
Yeah.
I'm not doing street acid with you.
No way.
If you do that acid and then tomorrow I'll do that acid if you're still alive.
Yeah. Tell me how that went.
Yeah.
Did he do it? He probably did.
He did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to see Roger Waters.
That was fine.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty good acid.
Pretty good.
You missed out on the best time.
Yeah,
He,
sure.
he wasn't a giggle fest. He did cry a bunch.
He did?
Yeah. He cried at how amazing the Roger Waters show was.
It made me
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, but he was on
fine,
his.
I know, but I
He
was
made
like,
Jamie
why is he so
uncomfortable.
sad? He's sitting
Jamie
right next
locked
to
up.
me.
It was so good.
You know,
Roger
they-
Waters was so good.
They do. Oh yeah.
Oh, it was so good. And then we all hung out afterwards.
Yeah, that's so. I was so jealous. Like I was. You texted me like that day or the day before.
Roger Waters is my homie.
No, I know,
We
and I
text
wanted
each
to
other
go.
all the time.
I wanted to go. I was like, you asked me to, and I was like out of town, and I was like, fuck, I would love to do that.
It's one of the weirdest of my homies. Like my famous homies that text me every now and then. I get a text from Roger Waters. I'm like, holy shit, man.
Yeah,
That's Roger fucking Waters, man.
yeah,
First time I made out with a girl when I was 13. I heard Comfortably Numb.
and
Yeah.
and now he's sending you texts.
Become comfortably numb. Oh my God, what a band. What a band. What a fucking artist he is. And like a guy who's like a really well thought out guy, really well versed in international affairs.
Yeah, he's definitely not just spouting bullshit.
He's not that old rich guy who like is detached
No.
and just famous now. He's not that guy at all.
He's a real artist.
He can play pool too.
Can he?
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
legit?
he plays good. Yeah, he plays good. Yeah, he wanted to play.
Oh, really?
He's like, yeah, I'll play you some pool. Come on, let's play pool. I was like, you play pool? And he's like, I play very good. I was like, no fucking way. I was like, holy shit, Roger Waters can play some pool. He knows how to move the rock.
Does he have a setup table at the shows and everything?
Yeah, but I got to fucking the problem with this table out here is like if you don't know what that is, it's like a gimmick table almost.
Oh.
It's a super tight pro table.
Yours?
Yeah, mine has 4-inch pockets. So like if you're like used to regular pool tables,
What do they have?
5, 5.5.
Oh.
Yeah, in a bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are 4 like
So it's for like
yeah,
rich shit playing.
yeah.
That's what the
Ernesto
pros play on?
Dominguez cut. It's like the perfect. It's a gold crown.
You still do it a lot?
Oh, every day. I'm not the junkie. I'm a junkie.
Oh, you are? I didn't
I've got
realize
a
it.
problem.
I didn't realize.
Yeah, 2 of my security guys are good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we play hard.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
we
man.
battle. Yeah, we have good. Yeah, I'm getting better. I'm probably playing better now than I've ever played.
Really?
Yeah,
When did you
playing
start?
really good.
Start getting into it?
Well, I tore my ACL when I was like 22, and that's when I first started playing pool.
Oh, okay.
Because I couldn't do martial arts anymore. It was fucked up for a while. And
Just-
then I
you
got,
got obsessive.
surgery. Yeah. I had to get surgery, but I didn't get surgery for it was a while, maybe more than 6 months. And then there's a long rehab. The ACL reconstruction was a long rehab for me. But I wasn't doing martial arts at the time at all. So all I was doing was going to the gym. Like I went to like a regular, fitness gym, and I just lift some weights, do the stair machine, was rehabbing my knee all by myself. And then, because I kind of knew what to do, just doing mostly body weight squats and slowly building up my ability and being smart about it. And then during the time, I got obsessed with pool. Just fucking obsessed. A buddy of mine worked at a pool hall. He had a part-time job at a pool hall. This guy was my comic friend, John. And so we used to play all the time. We both kind of sucked. It was fun. Just talking shit, laughing, playing. And we'd do gigs together and stuff. And then I started meeting really good players. And then I started playing all the time. And then I had a real problem. To the point where my manager goes, I think you're spending more time thinking about pool than you are about comedy.
You're like,
I was like, fuck, you're right.
Yeah.
I knew he was right. Because I was playing in tournaments like several times a week.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, it was a problem.
realize
I was
you were
playing
that.
8 hours a day. 8 hours a day.
Wow. I
Every day.
never knew this about you.
Every day. Every day. If pool was a legitimate profession at the time, like back then it was very hard to make a living. And then there was this camel tour, and it wound up being a shit show, and a lot of people didn't get the money
You
they
would have
wanted.
gotten into it.
100%. If I could have been a professional pool player, I was obsessed. I loved it. You know why? Because the balls don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck who's watching. They don't give a fuck how cool you are. They don't give a fuck what you're dressed like. They don't give a fuck if somebody likes you. If you make that shot, you make that shot. And to keep your nerves together and navigate around the table was a puzzle to me. I was fascinated by it. It's because it's just this you're in tune with these balls colliding with these other balls and trying to find the proper angle and plotting out the table in advance to get the good angle on the next ball, to get the good angle on the next ball. It was just obsessive.
Did you get into trick shots and all that too?
Nope.
No.
Couldn't give a fuck. Get out of here with that shit. I didn't
Okay.
want to learn it. I don't care. It doesn't
It was
mean
just
anything.
about like
Yeah.
cleaning the table.
If
like,
you got a trick shot and you got to kill yourself if you don't make it, then I'll watch.
okay.
There's no consequences. There's no consequences
That's
if
very
you
inspiring.
miss a trick shot. I don't give a fuck if you miss a trick shot. I don't give a fuck if you make it.
No.
It's kind of cool to
Yeah.
see someone has like a really powerful draw stroke
Yeah.
and they can do these crazy trick shots.
But you're talking about just
It's nonsense. What you really want to see is people playing pool at the highest level when you have to
do
keep your nerves.
pool
intact.
players consider, because I know there's multiple games. Like I've played,
Yeah.
amateur, obviously, like
Mm-hmm.
hanging out. But some people play 8-ball and like what's the standard game called?
Well, there's two main rotation games and there's one big gambling game.
Okay.
The big gambling game is a game called One Pocket. And
Okay.
the reason why it's a big gambling game is because it's a very complicated game. It's boring to watch unless you're like a real aficionado. They can never put it on television. And what One Pocket is say if this is the pool table.
Yeah.
I have this pocket here on the right-hand side. You have this pocket here on the left-hand side. And I only can make balls in this one pocket.
Oh.
You can only make balls in that pocket. And so there's 15 balls.
Yeah.
There's 15 balls in a rack. So when someone makes 8, that means they've made more than half, so they won the game. And then you make handicaps. Like say if you and I were playing and you don't play as good as me, I'd say, okay, I have to make 10 balls. You only have to make 5. We'll do it something like that. Or I have to make 13 balls. You only have to make 2.
Damn.
Yeah, people
Okay.
make crazy matches like that in that way, and they gamble for a lot of money. I've seen One Pocket games for thousands and thousands
Really?
of dollars. Yeah, big money.
Now that sounds like what like legit players play. But
That's
most people play
Most people play
9-ball.
Well,
or,
in leagues, a lot of people play 8-ball.
Okay.
Like a lot of bar table 8-ball.
Yeah.
Which is a little complicated because bar table 8-ball, you have to have really good cue ball control because you're dealing with a lot of clusters. So you have to know how to move the ball around.
Right.
It seems easier because you don't have long shots because the table's small, and it is. It's easier for that. But
Yeah.
it's harder for position play because you have very small room for error.
Yeah.
And so you develop a real good sense of where the cue ball's going.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of bar table players have a real solid cue ball. And then there is tournament play. And tournament play is generally usually either 8-ball or 9-ball rather and 10-ball for the
Okay.
pros. So it's a rotation game.
9-ball I'm familiar with. I know
9-ball, the balls are wild.
Right.
So 9-ball, you break, you make the 9-ball on the break, that's a game. You won. You make a 1-9 combination, you win. 10-ball,
Never even
no
heard of
balls
that.
are wild. So unless you play it wild, there's different ways people can play. But generally speaking, it's call shot. You have to call every shot you make. So
Oh, okay.
the one, if you're making a 1-5 combination, you call the 5-ball
No
combination.
bullshit. You can't-
No bullshit.
Yeah.
You can get lucky occasionally. And the way you get lucky is say if you call that corner pocket and you miss, but it bounces off the rail, hits the other rail, and comes back in that corner pocket, it still counts.
Still counts.
It's a fluke. You got the luckiest of lucky,
Yeah.
but only because you actually called the pocket.
I got
It
you.
really shouldn't even count then. You should really say how you do it, but that's not how it works.
Yeah.
And then there's games where you play the 10-ball counts on the break, and that's a win, but most of the times they don't. Most of the time they spot it.
You have more. I realize this. Like I've realized this over time, but even now, like you have more obsessions than most people I know. I think.
Yeah, I got a lot of them.
Yeah, like a lot of people have none or maybe like one, but like you are kind of obsessed with a number of things.
Yeah, I could get obsessed with anything.
Yeah,
Anything good.
But I mean, like you're kind of obsessed with stand up. You've definitely been obsessed with jujitsu. You're kind of obsessed with archery.
Yeah.
Right.
I just
And then
came from the archery shop.
Yeah, that's a lot of. I mean, it's a lot of different
Yeah.
disciplines that or things that you are trying to master.
I'm mentally ill.
Yeah, fitness. That's another one. Yeah,
But I'm mentally ill in a very productive way.
that's true. Yeah.
It's not a mental illness where it wrecks my life. It enhances my life.
Yeah.
But it's just I know how to like focus on it. It's like it's like saying I have a 900 horsepower engine. That's why I keep crashing all the time.
Yeah.
Like no, you need to know how to handle 900 horsepower.
Sure.
If you know how to handle 900 horsepower and you're a race car driver, then you have a massive advantage.
Yeah.
Because then you have all this horsepower.
Yeah.
You could fucking go. That's me.
Yeah.
It's just like I just have to find things to put that in. If I'm just like sitting around doing nothing,
Not good.
my brain just starts plotting chaos.
Yeah.
I just start thinking dark things. I just start plotting scenarios. It's not good. I can't. I don't trust my brain to be by itself. It's like
Interesting.
that's why for me it's easier to like when I say, just fucking work out, just go do it. You'll feel better. I know it's easier for me to say that.
Yeah.
It's easier for me to say that because I'm crazy.
Yeah.
And because I have to do it. I know I have to do it. I go out there and I do whatever I have to do, and then I can manage all that other stuff. But if I don't, I can get locked into something. Like when I was playing pool for 8 hours a day. Or I used to get into video games like that, where I'd play video games. Or jiu-jitsu. The thing about jiu-jitsu is you can't really do it all day long. Your body breaks down.
Yeah.
I did as much as I could, but your body starts to break down.
What's a good session for like
Couple hours.
couple hours?
Couple hours, yeah. You know, you do like an hour of drills, and then you probably roll for an hour.
Yeah. But yeah, more than that, your body's
You're
gonna...
so beat. An hour of trying to stop people from strangling you and breaking your arm and fucking ripping your neck off your head.
Yeah.
It's fucking exhausting.
That's real work.
It's exhausting.
Yeah.
You get so tired. That's why jiu-jitsu people are so chill.
Yeah.
They get it all out.
They're
They
like,
don't
"Oh."
have nothing. You meet them in real life, they're like, hi.
Yeah.
They have no bravado,
Yeah.
chest puffiness. They're just fucking chilled out.
Yeah, I mean, like the bit of boxing stuff I've done too, it's completely exhausting too.
Same thing. Yeah, same thing. You meat a boxer in real life, they're
Yeah.
generally pretty fucking chilled out.
Yeah.
Especially one that's training all the time.
Yeah, that training is crazy.
There is nothing for me quite like hitting a bag for a workout that puts me in a great state of mind.
Yeah.
Like a great mood. Doing rounds on a bag. By the time I'm done, I feel so good.
It gets everything out.
Smiley.
Yeah.
I'm all happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just drains all that monkey energy out of my body. It just
Sure.
drains all that caveman out.
And when you hit like clean combos, pop, 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 pop,
Boom,
yeah, just
boom.
at the end you're like, oh, I can't. Even.
Yeah,
It's good. It's a good feeling.
I like going ham.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
Well, you're doing the kicks too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
finally I could do them again. My knee's back. It took forever. That's another thing that happened with this fucking diet. This like whatever weird joint pains I was having just went away. I used to have occasional joint pain in my right knee too. Gone. Don't feel it at all. Not at all. Same workouts, same stuff. I think I was carrying around a bunch of inflammation just from eating. I mean, mostly clean. You know, but I'll eat 4 cheeseburgers one night, or mostly clean. I'll have a fucking large bowl of spaghetti. Mostly clean, but every now and then I'll go off the rails, to not going off the rails at all. Remember one day I just felt like shit, and I just decided, when was the last time I felt really good physically? It was like, this is the time that I did that carnivore diet.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let me do that again. The thing that's most astonishing to me is the mental benefits of it. When your brain is running on ketones, it's a different feeling. It's a feeling like you're on a nootropic. It's like you're on alpha brain. It's a feeling like you get like a little extra room for thinking.
Yeah.
A little extra room for forming sentences, for just even comprehension, understanding things. I have more mental energy. I think it's a more efficient form of energy than carbohydrates are.
I did find that you know, I'd have like joint pain, and when I was at the house and I'd feel that way, that was another benefit of like that feeling after cold plunging was like alleviate. Like you know, my knees would be like sore from like hitting the bike for a while or squats, and then you're like, damn, like it really does feel alleviated.
Oh yeah, your body loves that. Let's get that inflammation out of there.
Yeah.
Oof.
It does
There's a lot of people that talk about it, there not being scientific benefit. And I literally hear it in their voice that they're trying not to go in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's just say it doesn't do anything for you physically. What it does for you mentally is inarguable. It's inarguable. There's real science behind it. It ramps up your dopamine by 200%, and it lasts for hours.
Yeah, and the epinephrine, norepinephrine,
And it carries through the rest of your day.
No, that's why I was, for me, a big proponent of in the morning.
Yeah.
Start your day that way.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great way to warm up too. It wakes you up, and then I warm up through. I make my body get warm through while it's freezing.
Yeah, I mean that morning fog that we all feel. I mean, I keep telling people, I go, there's no cup of coffee like that 5-degree water.
Nothing.
There's nothing that will get you going like that.
Nothing like.
I mean, you can experience a version of it if you've ever jumped into like a lake or something, you know, like in a cool, like that feeling. You're like, whoa,
dude. I was kind of burnt out the other day. I did, a bunch of podcasts in a row, And then I had a real hard workout that day, and I was just crashed. And I came home. I was like, man, I got 2 shows tonight. Woof! I gotta get. I'm gonna get in the tank. I'm gonna get in the cold. And I just got in there for 3 minutes. I got out. And I was like, whoa! Let's fucking go!
Yeah. Yeah.
I went to the club, and they're like, why are you so fucking energetic? I go, dude, I was tired today. I was crashing. And then I got in that cold plunge. Now I feel fucking fantastic.
Game changer.
Game changer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just if you only have a bathtub, get a bathtub, fill it with cold water, throw some ice in there. Just do it. It doesn't have to be complicated.
Yeah, you really will feel amazing.
Yeah.
And the fun thing is I've had people come over and, you know, you can't help it. You're talking about it. They see it and they're like, what is that? And I talk to them and then there's people who go, fuck that. Like they have just, they're like, I'm not doing that.
Almost everybody.
Yeah. And then I've had friends that go like, all right, I want to try it. And they get excited about it. And everyone who's actually gone through and done it has a huge like smile on their face afterwards.
Yeah, they start laughing
Yeah.
afterwards.
Yeah, they love it.
I paid my daughter and her friends $1,000 for every minute they can go in there for.
What?
They have 11-year-olds.
Did they do it?
Yes.
Really?
Freaking her ass off, trying to get $1,000, and I peeled off 10 crisp hundreds. And then they were laughing and giggling, and the parents were like, what are you doing? I'm like, it's fun. It's fun. It's okay.
It's
Are you
okay.
sure? I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun. Everybody
Yeah.
had a good time.
That's cool.
I did it for fun.
At 11 too. That's like
Yes.
giving an 11-year-old $100,000.
Yes.
Like, what am I going to
That's
do?
why I wanted to do it. I
Yeah.
was it's like, but they were all laughing afterwards. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was like everyone was laughing,
Yeah,
and
that's fucking cool.
it was fun that they did it because it's a hard thing to do.
Sure.
But
Yeah,
you know,
that's not
it's just
easy.
a minute.
Yeah.
You could do it.
$1,000.
You
Fucking
could do. I
great.
told Tony I'd give him $1,000 for every minute.
Did he do it?
He won't do it.
He won't?
I go, Tony, you can make 10 grand.
He has like no body fat. He'll experience it differently than most people.
Yeah,
He's so
his
lean.
balls would crawl right up into his nostrils.
Right, up into his vagina. Like, he's so thin, like lean.
Yeah, he's very lean.
Yeah.
He's a little hummingbird.
Yeah, he really is.
He's go, go, go.
Amazing. That show we did with him was incredible.
Insane. The fact that Kill Tony started out in the belly room at the Comedy Store to a half-filled crowd where they were just kind of finding their legs, and I remember doing it back then, to seeing it now where they did it in front of that sold-out Moody
ACL,
Theater.
yeah.
Yeah, look at that. That photo was insane. When he's on stage like that, the roar from the crowd was fucking incredible. It was incredible. We had he was sitting on my lap, David Lucas and Ron White. It was amazing. But it was also like it felt so good to see
Yeah.
this show become,
Yeah.
you know, this immensely popular thing. They're doing the fucking HEB Arena for New
Crazy.
Year's Eve.
Right. And I'd done the show before at the clubs, you know, at like the Store and the Vulcan. And when he's like, I'm doing it at ACL, I was like, really? I kind of didn't really understand what it would be. Dude, that show really was a flawlessly entertaining show.
It was amazing.
It was really, it was so, I told him this, I go, it was so well produced.
Yeah.
Like you guys put, like, it felt like this is a show that you guys put on in this space every week.
Right.
It was like
Right.
flawlessly done. From the music, you know,
The
that
visuals,
band,
the video.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, they had graphics for everybody coming out, and it was like timed well.
It was incredible.
It was really good.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Holtzman went up and crushed. It's so nice having him here.
So ridiculous.
It's
That stuff
so
was amazing.
nice having him here. It's so nice.
Yeah, it's awesome that he's here now.
Also watching people try to figure him out. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Like, people don't know where they're getting into.
They don't know he's such
These are jokes.
Yeah.
Do you understand? I don't really believe these things.
He's such a nice guy too.
He's the
Yeah,
best.
Yeah.
He's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
And, you know, finally he feels like he has a place where he can go up and he has big crowds and he's appreciated. He's having a great time.
It's really cool. Yeah, the club you've built is amazing, dude.
It's pretty wild, dude. It's pretty wild. It's wild. It's just weird. Even when I'm there, I'm like, is this real? What fucking
It's a real treat.
what chapter of the simulation am I in?
Yeah. It's fucking it's a fun thing to have here, man.
Well, it's beautiful what's become of this community now. It's like a surreal, thriving comedy community. I also think that having 2 open mic nights a week is huge.
Yeah. I love
That's
that
huge.
bottom of the barrel show you guys do. That's a fun
It's
one.
perfect with Brian hosting it too.
Yeah.
Brian's the man.
Such a great
I'm
comic.
so happy he's out here. He's filming his special at the Mothership in August.
He is? Mm-hmm. He's one of my favorite comedians.
He's fantastic.
Yeah. I knew it the first time I saw him, too. There's weird things like that where you can see someone and you're like, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah, he was a Tommy Buns recommendation.
Yeah.
Yeah, you recommended him to me.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll check him out. And the moment I saw him, I was like, oh, okay. This
Yeah.
guy's good.
As soon as I saw him.
Yeah.
There's also specials. I was thinking about that. Like, I remember watching specials and just knowing.
Mm-hmm.
First time, Netflix sent me an advance of Bert's first special for them. And I told him, I was like, you're definitely going to go to theaters. And he was like, really? I go, 100%. I could just tell watching it. First time I was watching Nate Bargatze's first one on there, I paused it at like 15 minutes. And I was like, you're about to go do big rooms. And he was like, I hope so. I go, no, definitely.
Nate Bargatze just sold out 19,000 seats.
Yeah, at like the Bridgestone or whatever it's called. Yeah. No, I could. I mean, I feel like you watch them, and the same
Yeah.
thing. I felt the same thing when I saw Shane's YouTube special. I remember. I go, dude. I was. It was like after the 15-minute mark. I was like, oh, I'm really into. Like I could tell the way I was watching it. I was like, oh, this is really good.
Yeah.
And I watched the whole thing. I was like, I'd never sit through specials. I was just laughing the whole time. I was like, these are all such good. Like I was so engaged, so entertained, laughing. I was like, this is legit a really good special.
Yeah.
You can just tell sometimes.
Yeah, you could tell sometimes. It's nice. It's a good time for comedy. A lot of good comedy going on. Shane's new shit's funnier than ever. It's way funnier than his YouTube special. His YouTube
Really?
special was amazing. His new shit is fucking insane.
That's great.
It's insane.
I think that shoots soon. I think that's
He
what
just shot it.
Oh, he shot it.
Just shot it in San Diego.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Well,
like last week.
That'll be huge for him.
Yeah.
It's amazing what that YouTube one did for him, though.
I know. It's a wild time. Did you see that Roseanne's podcast with Theo got pulled from YouTube for hate speech?
It's so funny. I had something with them like a year or two ago.
This is so insane. I'm going to send this to you, Jamie, so we can go over what it is that got them banned, because it's so crazy. I can't even understand it. I don't even understand how this could possibly be real. I'm going to send it to you here. So here is there's a thing on Twitter. He put it on Twitter now because that's really the only place you could put something like that if it gets pulled from YouTube, which is...
So they pulled the whole episode, though.
They pulled the whole episode for this clip. So we're going to watch this clip. And it's really... I just don't understand how someone could think that this kind of censorship is okay.
Well, hopefully, like they'll go through if you go through the flagging process.
I don't know. Let's go. They can't post for a week. Go full screen, please.
In 2012, one of my platform things was I will outlaw bullshit.
Yeah.
Because, and I know that horrified people because what will they do now?
Right.
They're addicted to it. They'd rather have that than food or a happy family. They're so addicted to their fucking bullshit.
It's true, huh?
But, comics, I think, we're the less free speech art form. And as long as we're performing, things ain't as bad as they could be. I think that's true.
As long as we're performing, things aren't as bad as they could be.
Yeah.
And that's always been the case throughout time, like with jesters or with people that was trying to speak up and share. There's always been a ceiling on speech, hasn't there, in a way?
Of course. Nobody wants to hear the real truth. They're horrified of it. They'd rather go with bullshit. It's easier.
And
like for the real truth that, and I'm glad that they did set up all these guidelines so that we only are allowed to speak the truth. And the truth is that Biden got 81 million votes by winning 36 counties. And that is just incredible. It really, really is. And that of these 81 million supporters who gave him more votes than any president has ever gotten before. He came with a mandate from these 81 million voters. And, I'm just glad that they were very careful to make sure that nobody could detract from that proven truth. You know what I mean?
Like, what do you mean? Like that nobody...
Theo's not getting it?
Yeah.
That they mandated that was the truth and that nobody could say, well, what about no?
Oh, it was made a mandate.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. So the government made it a mandate?
Yeah. because YouTube did, and so did all the
so
social.
you can't speak. You can't even speak on that in those platforms.
No, you can't say
That it wasn't.
You can't say that like
The
there was
election was
election.
rigged or-
yeah,
right.
that's all a lie. The election was not rigged. 36 counties can give you 81 million votes.
Right.
That's a fact.
So it wasn't rigged.
Of course not.
Yeah.
36 counties have 81 million people in them. See? That's the truth. And
Yeah.
don't you dare say anything against it, or you'll be off YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and all the other ones, because we have, there's such a thing as the truth and facts, and we have to stick to it. And,
It's scary.
and that is the truth. And nobody died in the Holocaust either.
No.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
It should happen. 6 million Jews should die right now because they cause all the problems in the world, but it never happened. But it never happened.
Yeah.
Mandated.
Well, you're
People
part
don't-
Jewish,
first of
right?
all,
Part of your
she
family's
is
Jewish?
100%
I'm all
Jewish.
Jewish.
You're all Jewish.
100%.
And a lot of Hollywood is Jewish. Yeah, it's like a lot of Hollywood is a Jewish business. Really, well, they started Hollywood,
Yeah.
right? But so was it weird
Just
that
like rap. Black people started rap.
yeah,
So I wouldn't go over there and try to get in rap and go, all these black people, go on Saturday Night Live like Dave Chappelle. I'm just saying a lot of black people are in control of rap.
right?
Hello?
What?
Well, you went there. You
Yeah.
try to get in show business. Of course it's Jewish. But, and people should be glad that it's Jewish too, because if Jews were not controlling Hollywood, all you'd have was fucking fishing shows.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying?
That's hilarious.
So
Wow.
that
That's kind of a full
that
ride. Yeah.
that got them pulled. The episode pulled, and he can't post for a week, and it's a strike against his account.
And it's all based on the actual Holocaust line for sure.
It
That's
has
what
to
the-
be,
Yeah,
but she's Jewish.
she is.
It's obvious she's Jewish. She's always been Jewish.
It's also obvious if you're listening that when she says
Yeah.
that the Holocaust and that like that many Jews should die,
And that she said it after she said this thing where she's clearly
yeah, she's clearly
poking fun
Yeah.
at Biden, saying, but by the way, I think you can make 81 million if you win those counties.
I don't know the
right?
math. I don't
Is
know
that
the
how it
math. On
Somebody,
the,
was that real? Like, what is how many counties did Biden win? Does that matter? Look, if you don't think that people voted for Biden because they hated Trump and that 81 million people
Yeah.
hated Trump, you're not paying attention.
yes, it's
It's like, I don't know if there was some shenanigans with the election. I guarantee you it wasn't 0%.
yeah.
Like, if you said, like, how much voter fraud was it? It's never zero.
Well, but it's never zero. That's the point.
Right,
It's-
ever.
It's never zero. But it's
never been
also in. I mean, if you do all the research that you can, the valid studies and the reports, even from like hardcore pro Republican counties, it's like fractional voter fraud. People like to
right. It's
purport that
probably
there's-
zealots that work inside the organization
Yeah.
that figured out a way to, like, oh, this county's got us. Let's hide
it's
these
not,
ballots.
It's not substantial.
It was a very small amount of counties. I don't know about 36 being accurate.
Okay, so with over 81 million votes, Biden received the most votes of any presidential candidate in history. It's also true that he won a record low number of counties, but counties vary by population size, from those with a few hundred people to others with millions of residents. So county wins don't correlate with popular vote. Right. But if you only win 30, if you have 81 million votes and
Yeah.
31 counties, how many?
36.
36 counties?
Yeah,
That's
she
what
said.
she was saying. In this, it says that he won 477 counties and Trump won 2,000
Oh,
counties or something.
so
like
he
that.
won 477.
Yeah,
That's
what
a
I was
lot
saying.
more
It's-
than 31.
It's different than what she was saying.
Okay. So why
Yeah,
was
so
she saying? Why was she saying that?
She probably got just that
Updated.
information wrong.
509 versus 25.
Oh, so he won 509
Yeah.
counties. That's a lot of counties. That makes sense. Look, I know people that voted for Biden that wish they didn't now.
Yeah.
But I do know a lot of people who voted for Biden. I don't know whether or not. Look, there's some real problems with these voting machines.
I mean, the other thing that article is saying right there that you were looking at said that Trump won like 2,400 counties.
Right.
So it's substantially higher number of counties, but he's also winning a lot of those counties in like rural places.
areas. Yeah, like they were
It's-
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there was a thing that they just released about the Dominion voting system, that it's susceptible to being hacked. What was that? See if you can find that. There's something that just got released about the Dominion system.
Did I tell you about when we got one? By the way, YouTube struck us.
Struck you guys for what?
We had a guest on. This is like on an old podcast. This is like a couple of years ago. And the guest, I think it was Derek Delgado. I think that's how you say his name. I don't want to get it wrong. But he was telling me about growing up and how he was getting taunted at school. This is like a serious conversation. And he's like, yeah, you know, getting bullied at school. Kids are calling me a fag, blah, blah, blah. Took the episode down. Hate speech.
Wow.
And I was like, but he's telling the story about being bullied.
Georgia won't update vulnerable Dominion software until after 2024 election. So yeah, that was it. There's something about the software being vulnerable. This is on CNN. Georgia election officials have been aware of existing vulnerabilities in the state's voting software for more than 2 years, but continue to insist the system is safe and won't be updated until after 2024, according to a report that was unsealed this week as part of a controversial court case in Georgia. The report's findings focus on weaknesses in software for certain Dominion voting machines. Those weaknesses were previously verified by federal cybersecurity officials who urged election officials across the country to update their systems. A lawyer for Georgia's top election official, Republican Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, recently told a federal court that officials would forego installing Dominion security patches until after the 2024 presidential election. Why? The Georgia election officials insist that it's highly unlikely that the vulnerabilities will be exploited in real attacks. Well, when you fucking write about it on CNN, doesn't that make it more likely?
I mean, yeah, why are you sharing this?
Upgrading the system would be a massive undertaking, and our election officials are evaluating the scope of and time required for the project. Mike Hassinger, a spokesperson for the Georgia Secretary of State's office, told CNN when asked about the delay. So they might do it.
And also, we're spending this time evaluating.
Right. It's extremely unlikely that any bad actor will be able to exploit our voting systems in the real world. The system is secure.
Oh, well, if you say so.
Gabriel Sterling, a top election official in the Georgia Secretary of State's office, said in a press release from earlier this month, adding that safeguards are already in place to mitigate these hypothetical scenarios from happening. Well, I'll sleep like a baby now.
Yeah, Georgia's fine.
Yeah, man. They're people, right? And the same kind of fucking people that don't put their syrup in a chilled container and don't have an extra big straw. Yeah, those fucking people, they work for Jack in the Box.
That's right.
You
That's
know,
right.
You get that bullshit
It
ass
seems like
Diet
you'll
Coke.
reference this article when something does happen and the system is exploited.
And they'll go, well, we weren't aware.
Well, that's the first that I've even heard of them even like sharing how vulnerable their system is.
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
The systems are vulnerable because they're electronic.
Yeah.
You know, and like I would imagine like all
Anything.
systems.
Yeah, electronic.
If
Can
it's
be
a
hacked,
computer
for
system,
sure.
people get in. But that was a big thing with the Republicans. This is a Republican too, right? This is a Republican
Yeah.
run. But that was a big thing with the Republicans back when W was president, because there was people that thought that John Kerry should have won. Remember that? That was the dangling Chads. Remember that shit?
Yeah, Dangling Chads was it Kerry and then George W?
Wasn't it? Yeah, I think it
Or
was.
was it
Kerry.
him and Gore? Wasn't
Maybe it
what
was
that?
Gore.
There's a slightly different thing than the chat.
Yeah, I
There's
think it was
something with
Gore.
voting machines in Ohio. There's a giant book with tons of data about this that I've found way since and after the fact. But it was too late. They were like, sorry, it's too late. Everything's already happened.
Okay, look at this. In 2006, scroll back down. In 2006, Ohio became the poster child for bad election administration when two lengthy reports examining, say that word, Cuyahoga County's election procedures uncovered multiple serious problems. The county lost 812 voter access cards that allowed a voter to cast a ballot on machines. It also lost 313 keys to the memory card compartments where the votes are stored on the machines. Oh, Jesus Christ. And pick up the memory cards that contain the votes. Wow.
They hired taxi drivers.
They hired taxi drivers to drive to election precincts and pick up the memory cards that contain the votes. Taxi drivers. Cracked out taxi drivers.
Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Cuyahoga County's Cleveland.
So there was a documentary that HBO had on called Hacking Democracy, and it was about the Diebold machines. Do you remember the Diebold machines?
I remember that name. I don't remember when that was.
Diebold is a company that made voter machines. I think they made ATMs too, because I remember seeing an ATM machine and thinking about that documentary. But they showed in the documentary that the machines were exploitable by a third party, and that there was a third party access. It's like a third party could alter the vote, and they altered the vote on the machine on the show. They showed on the show how they did it.
But we didn't have like widespread abuse of this in the last election. I mean, from everything that I've read and seen, it's not been reported that this is, even from, like I'm saying, from Republican counties.
It's not something that I've heard where it's compelling enough for me to say that I know that that's what happened.
Yeah.
U.S. finds no evidence flaws in Dominion voting machines were ever exploited. Well, if they're really good at exploiting it, would you know that you got exploited?
That's
and
true.
if you were exploited, would you tell everybody they were exploited and Trump should have actually won?
Yeah.
When that guy's been screaming like a maniac for 4 years?
Yeah, he sure has.
They stole my election. They stole my election.
Yeah.
It was a rigged election.
Rigged.
Even if it wasn't rigged.
He's still saying it.
But even if it wasn't rigged, let's say it wasn't rigged. Let's say it was a fair and that's who won and that's how it was going to be. Biden won. For sure, it was rigged by the media. For sure. Just the Hunter Biden laptop case and the Russia collusion case. Just those two things.
Yeah.
Just those two narratives that they knew were not true, that they pushed out in front of everybody, and that we know, had to do with trying to get rid of Trump. That was a big. That is
one over-reporting and one under-reporting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is in many ways. That's
an attempt to
manipulation.
Yeah.
It's manipulation of a public narrative. It's a manipulation of what the people think is real and not real. Everybody thought he was in collusion with Russia. It's what everybody thought. It's they were just all these mainstream, except Fox News.
Yeah.
They were the only one. They were the only ones that weren't pushing it. Everybody else was pushing it.
Yeah. It was sold hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not true, and it's proven to be not true. And then there's the Hunter Biden laptop thing, which they knew was true, and they said wasn't true.
Yeah.
And they told you that they stopped people from sharing it on social media. They stopped people from sharing it on Twitter. Zuckerberg sat in that very chair and said that the FBI contacted Facebook and told them that it was Russian disinformation. They were getting a bunch of Russian disinformation. And so they limited the
People that
spread of that.
Wow.
I don't know how they did it. I don't know exactly what they did to limit the distribution of that
Well,
article.
the FBI is involved in that.
It's wild shit,
It's pretty
dude.
wild.
It's wild shit, and no one cares. No one's up in arms. No one's freaking out because that is a way that you're going to rig an election without rigging an election.
Yeah. with
Whether
information.
you like that guy or not, we have to follow the rules. We have to. And if we don't follow the rules because we don't like somebody, and we break the law because we don't like somebody, we don't want them to win.
No, I agree.
Now this is
That's not-
banana republic shit.
Yeah, that's not cool at all.
That's scary. And the fact that they were willing to do that and that there's no oversight, that no
Yeah.
one can stop them from doing that. And then there's no punishment for them doing that.
It also speaks to like how much he's despised by this.
Despised.
I mean, it's really
he fucked
other
up.
level.
He fucked up. Well, he was. I mean, you remember there was a time where Chuck Schumer was on one of those shows talking about how stupid it is to attack the intelligence community. I mean, he was openly saying it. Like, they have 18 ways to Sunday to get you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and guess what? That's what they did.
Yeah.
You know? But the fact that they did it, like, it's not good because it's the same thing that I feel about like the censorship thing with social media. If someone is spreading some sort of fake information on purpose to hurt other people, that's one thing. But if someone is just saying something that you don't like them to say, or something that's disputed, or something that seems to not be agreed upon by certain people, but then there are also experts in the field that do agree, you've got to let people talk that through. Because if you don't and you silence debate and it turns out you were wrong, like the Hunter Biden laptop story or like Russia, if you were wrong and you were ruining people's social media channels, ruining people's YouTube channels, ruining public discourse, changing the way people think about something, well, you have a responsibility to not do that again.
Sure.
Now you know you did that, and this is why that is dangerous. Censorship is always dangerous.
And then when they censor and it's like undeniable, you usually just get like a lower third.
Yeah.
There's
Sorry, whoops.
Yeah, we didn't mean to do that.
We fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's gross. It's gross, and they don't understand that it undermines something that is already a problem, and that's public belief in mainstream media. The general public has lost a tremendous amount of faith in the news and what they're saying and what's true and experts and all sorts of things.
Yeah.
And then it was all exaggerated greatly by the pandemic. That blew the people that were just hardcore lefties are now like moving to Texas.
Yeah.
People that were like, I am getting out of here. This is fucking crazy. I see where this
shift,
goes
a
now.
Huge shift has happened.
And people that are like closet Republicans now, they come up to me because they think I'm one. They tell me I'm voting red. Yeah. And I'm like, well, that's not what you have to do. You just got to get good people that really actually do care and aren't bought and paid for, and actually have a plan to unite people and not strengthen this one side to fight against the other side, but bring everybody together and make everybody realize our differences are so small in comparison to the things we have in common, the things we want, and the things that will help everyone's life.
Yeah.
And that we have to think that way. We have to think as a collective group. We have to think as a community.
But a lot of people just don't want to think that somebody can have differing points of view about a range of topics.
Yep.
So they go like, oh, if you are pro-gun, that means you must be pro all these other things, right?
Right.
And you're like, not everybody really falls into that.
No.
People have all different types of points of views about. It can be about any number of things. Like it can be like fiscally, like how the government should spend money. It could be about your civil rights. It can be guns and abortion, but that's not what defines people.
No, it shouldn't, but it does, because there's these predetermined patterns of thinking and ideas that people adopt when they join an ideology, whether they join a progressive ideology or a conservative ideology.
Yeah.
In order to be in the group, you have to espouse a certain amount of things. And I see people say it when they might not even believe it.
Oh, that's the big one.
Yeah.
That's the one that actually is kind of the most disheartening.
Yeah.
Is when you talk to somebody, you can see it in person, and they're just saying the right thing.
Yep.
Like this is what my group says to say, and
and
you can just look them in the eyes, like you don't even believe what you're saying right now.
Yeah. The real one with me is Republicans and gay rights. The people that are anti-gay rights that are Republican, they think that all gay people are groomers. And I'm like, some people are just people who love people of the same sex.
Yeah.
That has always
existed. That's just what makes them come. That's the only thing about them.
Well, and they're in love.
No, but I'm saying like when you go like, what's at the foundation of this? It's that what arouses somebody is just different than what arouses you. That's it.
Yeah. And they've existed throughout history.
Yeah.
The idea that there's something wrong with that just because you don't like it.
Yeah.
That to me is nuts from the people that are supposed to be about personal choice and freedom.
Yeah.
That's what drives me nuts.
And you don't think that like somebody else deserves to be in love with who they love?
Well, just imagine if
and come super hard inside of them.
Yeah, but imagine if it was the gay thing that you had to do. And heterosexuality was rare.
Yeah.
And heterosexuality is like, look at these fucking losers breeding. What are you going to have a baby, you fucking idiots?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. Like, that would be horrible.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it's like if you're gay. That's the difference.
No, it's crazy that we're even having that conversation.
But they feel like they have to have that. Some people, especially if they want to attract the religious people, the very like devout Christians.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that feel like
they're
that's
still hanging
the
on to
stance
that.
you have to take.
Yeah.
It's the dumbest stance ever.
It really is.
It just doesn't make any sense. They should be everybody in every community should be judged on an individual basis. You shouldn't say, "Oh, the straight people do this, the gays do that." Like that's stupid.
Yeah,
that's stupid. And to say you don't want them to have the same rights that you have, that's bananas.
Yeah, that even exists. It's crazy.
And it's still being discussed.
Yeah,
the people are talking about rescinding gay marriage. Now that they got rid of Roe v. Wade, they're talking about getting like, what? Are you out of your fucking mind?
What does that get you?
I think it's one of those things, like we were talking about before. Like if you were a conspiracy theorist, you wanted people to be upset about things. It's one more social hot button. It's a giant distraction.
And now you're not paying attention to things that matter.
It's a giant distraction. And anybody that wants to argue that, they should be forced to argue it with someone who makes this rational sort of argument against it. It's stupid. It's stupid from a perspective of someone who values freedom.
Yeah.
We know gay people. We know a lot of gay people. They love it. Yeah. They love cock. Yeah. They love it. They can't wait to get a fat cock in their mouth.
Well, how could you not? They're delicious.
I heard.
Yeah.
I heard they're delicious.
I've heard too.
But to say that that's a choice, like you're out of your fucking mind.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, it may be with some people, and that's fine too. Do whatever the fuck you want. If you want to just try it out, try it out.
Try it out.
That guy.
Yeah.
What's that guy?
RPC. He's really mad at me. He's
mad at you?
So mad at me.
Why? I thought he came on your show. He's your friend.
He's flipped.
When did he flip?
In the last couple of months.
What happened? Did you do something different?
No, he's just like he first calls me in every post. He calls me Tom Ham Sandwich Segura. So that's what he writes in every.
Why ham sandwich?
I don't know.
That's funny.
But every post, he's like, "Okay, Tom Ham." He goes, "You didn't write that book. I wrote a book." He's like, "You didn't write that book. It's all fake story." Like, just like.
Oh, so he's schizophrenic?
Yeah, and then he's just like, I don't,
Well, the kind of guy who invites guys to come over his house and beat him up and fuck him.
piss him and beat. Yeah,
What does he invite him to do?
piss on him, beat him, fuck him.
Try it out.
Try it out. Just give it a try.
And he tells them like they can stay in his house.
Yeah, you get a free lease and a key. There's food. You can bring friends.
So
homeless.
did anybody take him up on that?
I don't think so.
Really?
Yeah.
That's how you know
and
you're
he gives,
crazy.
And he gives out his full address and phone number in posts, like full deep. Like, here's my full address.
Wow.
Here's my phone number. Just come over and.
He's trying to get raped.
Yeah. Oh, he literally asks for it. That's.
Did you ever hear about the drug called Reequip? Mm-mm. Reequip is a drug that was a Parkinson's medication, and this guy won a court case against, I believe it was GlaxoSmithKline, because he took this stuff. He was a normal heterosexual guy, and he took this stuff and became a gay sex and gambling addict. He was having all these crazy. I think it's called a dopamine agonist. I think that's what the
changed like his brain chemistry.
It did something to him where he could not stop gambling and sucking cock. And he was picking up guys off of Craigslist, and he was having like impromptu meetings, and he got raped by 2 different guys.
It sounds like a great excuse to try something else out.
That's what I'm saying. But apparently, this is not unheard of. So much so that he actually won in court. See if you can find the court case.
I have the court case. I was trying to find the wording of what he.
Yeah, so this guy just couldn't stop gambling. He was off the fucking rails with gambling and just wanted to fuck guys and meet guys in like chance, crazy, dangerous encounters. He was into danger.
And it was all because his brain chemistry changed from this drug.
Something happened when he got on this
So he
Parkinson's
was
drug.
a Parkinson's patient?
Yes, he was a Parkinson's patient.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so he's got a little shaky hand. Next thing you know, he's sucking cock and playing bingo.
Yeah.
he just fucking fell all in.
Jesus Christ.
All in, man.
It feels like a...
Loving husband who claimed Parkinson's drug turned him into a gay sex addict wins $160,000 compensation in French court. But he's French.
Yeah,
you never know. He said turned him into a gambler and sex addict who sold his children's toys for cash. His wife, who stood by him throughout, was with him as he wept with relief in court after the ruling. Imagine if a fucking drug does that too. A Parkinson's sufferer has won a 6-figure payout against a drug giant after his medication turned him into a gay sex and gambling addict.
Jesus.
By the way, not a lot of money. 160 grand to get fucked
take
by a bunch
100
of
loads?
dudes? Yeah. How many did he get? Within 2 years of taking the drug Reequip, he was so addicted to both his vices, he sold his children's toys to raise money and advertised himself on the internet for sex. He's now been given $160,000 in damages after a court in, how do you say that?
Rennes,
France. Rennes, France upheld his claims. Wild.
What
does it say? Is that him?
I think that's him right there. Yeah,
that's the guy. Look at, oh my God, what a look of regret.
Yeah.
Look at that guy's face.
He's like,
Jesus Christ.
Come taste bad.
What the fuck did you make me do?
Oh,
Poor
Jesus
guy. Jesus.
Oh, man.
Woo.
He's
Okay,
still
what does it say
crying.
about the drug itself?
Oh, they increased the damages.
Yeah.
Almost 200.
Okay, hold on a second. The court increased the level of damage to €197,468.83 after finding out there was serious, precise, and corroborated evidence to blame his transformation on Reequip.
Wow.
Yeah. It's been a 7-year battle with our limited means in
7
recognition
years?
of the fact that GSK lied to us and shattered our lives. What does it say about the drug? Scroll down. Does it say anything about the drug or how the drug does that? I would want to know how it does that. What is that stuff?
Well, it looks like he said.
Oh my God! It says in total he gambled away a total of 82,000 euros. So he still only made 80 grand. Mostly placing internet bets on horse races and engaged in frantic search for gay sex. Frantic. He began exhibiting himself on the internet websites and arranging encounters, one of which results in him being raped. I thought he was raped twice.
Jesus.
Once. He said his family had not understood what was going on at first, but his behavior turned to normal when he stumbled upon a website that made the link between Reequip and addictions in 2005, and he stopped taking the drug. He said, "My life was hell. It still is because you cannot forget a catastrophe like that." Look at his face. You can't fake that.
No. It also
So what does
feels
it
like
say?
if you're gay curious, you can blame it on Requip if you can get your hands on some.
It said the court had heard warnings that Reequip's side effects had been made public in 2006. Mr. Jambert said the GSK should have informed patients earlier. He conceded that Reequip was a good medicine and offered undeniable solutions to people with Parkinson's disease. Okay, during the trial, GlaxoSmithKline said it had serious doubts that Mr. Jambert had developed his addictions after taking the drug. I would have serious doubts too if I fought something in court for 7 years.
But I mean, for the court to agree?
Is this another one?
Well, so that article is from 2012, I guess, when it happened. This
Right.
is like a more update from 2015.
But this is Pfizer. This is
them.
Pfizer settles lawsuits. Do they own GlaxoSmithKline
I don't
now?
know. This could be a similar drug or something different. That's why I was kind of. I didn't click this one first. I just
It's
knew it was
okay.
there.
It says Pfizer settles lawsuits tying sex and gambling addictions to dopamine meds. Class action litigation brought by patients who claimed drug maker did not adequately warn them of the side effects of drugs they were taking to treat their Parkinson's disease or restless leg syndrome. While this kind of litigation is routine, the side effects were not. Instead, patients were said the drugs created addictions they didn't previously have. Patients said, rather, the drugs created addictions they didn't previously have, causing them to gamble away their life savings or become obsessed with shopping or sex.
Holy shit! So it's definitely triggering something.
Yeah. The confidential settlement with 172 patients, said to be for millions of dollars, was approved by a judge in federal court in Australia. The Financial Review reports, although payments were delayed until they were assessed by an independent review. Pfizer had agreed to the settlement late last year, ahead of the trial of cases brought by people who took Pfizer's Cabasar and Dostinex between 1996 and 2010. Treat tremors associated with Parkinson's disease or RLS. That makes sense if you've got a dopamine agonist. The drugs work by providing dopamine agonists that imitate the effects of dopamine in the brain, something Parkinson's patients lack.
Wow.
A study published last year in JAMA Internal Medicine found that the psychiatric side effects of uncontrollable urges were not as rare as first believed. It found they occurred in at least 10% of patients, but said they probably were underreported because patients were ashamed to talk about what they had done. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So terrifying.
Okay, yeah. Labels on dopamine agonist class that includes Reequip from GlaxoSmithKline, UCB's Nupro, and Mirapex from Boehringer Ingelheim. Boehringer Ingelheim. The German company was sued by a New York man some years back who said that taking the drug had turned him into a pathological gambler who ruined him as he gambled away $3 million.
Fuck.
Wow.
I'd never heard about that. That's like
Gambling addicts are wild to be around, man. You saw Uncut Gems, right?
Yeah.
Adam Sandler movie?
Yeah, he was great in that.
Great movie, though. But what a great movie to like show what those people are like.
Yeah.
If you've ever been around one of those people.
I've talked to a couple, and they just talk about the impossible to quit draw. It's just, I know one that's like, it is substantial.
Sports?
I know a sports guy, and I know a blackjack guy.
Oh, yeah. How bad?
Unbelievable.
Does he have money?
Not anymore.
Oh, boy.
Millions. Millions.
Dana White's a degenerate gambler.
Yeah.
He gets kicked out of casinos for winning too much.
I remember I saw a video about it.
Yeah.
Like how some of the casinos are like, The one thing I've learned is I liked.
Isn't that funny that they can do that?
Yeah, they go.
Yeah,
like,
you're too good at this.
That's the other thing is fucking hilarious about we did some blackjack on tour, and we in different casinos all over the place. It's like you put your money down, and it's like whoop, give you your chips, right? And a couple times I came out ahead, like had good. It's blackjack really. I mean, there's by the book. But you realize you get good shoes, like a shoe is like what they pull the cards from.
Mm-hmm.
You just get like you really do get good shoes and bad shoes. Like you're just every time you're winning, and then there's shoes where you're like every hand you lose, right? And it's not, and you're playing by the book, or maybe you're taking risk. It's like that dealer keeps hitting 20, or 21 based on pulling out the cards. And then there's times where it happens to you. But these days where you come out ahead. You win $5,000, so you're like, oh, that's great. Then you go to cash out, and they're like, I had the casinos go, where did you win this? I'm like, what are you fucking talking about? Where did I win this? Here. And they're like, what game were you playing? And I'm like, blackjack. Where? I'm like, fucking right over there. Hold on. Calling people, verifying.
Why did he win?
Yeah. And then they go, all right, hold on. All right, you need to fill out this information. You got to give them all your information. Give us your ID. I mean, you're sitting there 20 minutes later like, am I going to get this money? And they're like, yeah, hold on. Yeah. And then another guy comes in the back and talks to them. They talk in private. Okay. It's like a 20, 30-minute thing to get paid. Then they give you your cash. And then the funny thing is, we noticed this a couple of times when I would win. We're all walking as a group back to the hotel, and like a pit boss cuts us off, and they're like, how you doing? And you're like, good. And they're like, do you want to come over here? And they're trying to get you to come right back right away. It's like you won and they don't want you to.
Wow.
Like, well, we can get a private table over here if you guys want to keep playing.
How much are we talking about?
I mean, less than 10,000 winning.
Wow.
But like thousands, right? So,
yeah.
but it's not affecting their bottom line. But it's just like this whole thing of you go, well, first of all, this is really hard to get paid. I think this would be like a simple, here's the chips, your chips.
This is not Vegas.
No, this wasn't Vegas.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I think
and then
there's
they
some
go
Fugazi casinos out there.
And then they go like, why don't you just keep playing? And
wow.
They're like, okay, I think I'm good for the day. And they're like, okay, well, just come back whenever you're ready. If you want to come back really soon, that'd be great.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're trying to get you to stay.
They don't want
money.
that. They don't want that loss. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. No, Vegas definitely.
Also,
different.
if you're a gambling junkie and someone comes up to you and you're like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get out of here with this money.
Yeah.
Like the pull's strong, but I can go. And then someone comes along and goes, why don't you play right here? And you're like, why don't I play right here? Why don't I bet it all on one fucking hand?
That fucking feeling too. It is funny how a couple times I went to the high limit room, and I'm still, this is not crazy numbers, but I would put like a few hundred down, and you win. You're like, whoa! You get that hit, and then you double it. Ooh. So then you kind of go, you're holding on to the guy next. You're like, and you win again. Oh my fucking god! And you start. You see how if you're wired for that. Yeah, that
especially
could be.
The craps table. I don't understand craps, but you're the life of the party if you're winning people money.
They're having the best time. Yeah, it's fucking Ibiza over there. Yeah, they're people
rolling
screaming,
dice. Let's go,
screaming, cheering. Yeah,
you got to know how to play that game.
You know where.
That game is fucking complicated.
The low ball and the high yo and you're like, what's happening?
Saying? How did you learn this? Like, this is a complicated game to get in on.
All these little side bets within the bet.
Yeah.
I know there's the cum line and then
which is hilarious.
Yeah, I know.
It's literally called the cum line.
The cum line. And then they go, that's all you need to know. But then you play with someone who knows and they're doing 10 other side bets.
How is it still called the cum line?
I don't know. First guy ever.
What does it mean? What does it mean?
Blew his load there.
What does it mean? Why is it find out. Why is it the cum line?
I think I've read this before, and it didn't make any sense.
I don't know. I don't know what that means.
It's probably like the Flintstones, like gay old time. Old timey.
I know a guy.
Different way of talking. The cum is a bet made by a player after the point is established. By placing a wager and the cum, the wager will travel to the box number which is rolled next. To win a cum bet, the number that the wager traveled to must roll a second time before a 7.
I think you're betting on point hitting again, essentially, but I might have overcomplicated.
Do you want to come or not?
I'm too dumb for that game. I'm too dumb and disinterested.
I know a guy who won $60,000 doing that.
Woo!
On just a fucking Saturday night.
Do you know what he's doing?
Yeah.
How do you learn? Imagine how much ADD would kick in if you were at a craps lesson. I would not remember any of it. I'd be like,
I think it's probably just over and over seeing it.
Yeah.
You start to go, okay. And then you get like the confidence to do that cum bet. But then those side bets is like really where
I think the problem with it too is like you're betting against the table a lot too, because I think it hits if it's 7 or 11, and that's craps. So people don't even want to think about that a lot of times. But sometimes you'll find a rebel who comes up to the table and just throws a bunch of money on that cum bet. And you're like, well, hey, what is this fucking guy doing?
Yeah.
And then it hits, and you're like, well, he's not wrong, but fuck, it's going against everybody else on the table.
It is a silly amount of money, though.
You can play a cum bet only after a point is made on a come out roll. It's more complicated, but you don't have to place a pass line bet. Okay. You win if the next roll is a 7 or 11, or if the cum point is repeated before a 7. You lose if the next roll is a 2, 3, 12, or if a 7 is rolled before the come point is repeated.
Right?
Wow.
I watched it explained on a YouTube video. Like, it was a YouTube for, like, a moron. Like, here's how to play this game. Did
they
at the
explain it
end,
in a way that I would understand it?
well, at the end, I was like, I'm definitely not playing craps. I was like, this is way too fucking.
I won money and played for 4.5 hours one night.
Yeah?
I have no idea how I was winning money.
Did
I
you win a
lost
good
bunch
amount?
back.
Yeah.
At the time, for me, it was a ton. I was like, I can go buy an Xbox now. Like, I was
Yeah,
so
yeah.
happy.
Yeah.
I
Really?
just copied some guy that had way more money than everybody else on the table. I'm doing whatever he does, and hopefully I'll figure it out.
Wow.
I never figured it out, and I've lost a ton of money back thinking it's really fun time.
Is that the best game to play if you know what you're doing, or is blackjack?
Oh, definitely craps.
Really?
Craps is higher end. Well, craps the multiples, I think, are much crazier. Much crazier. You see the payouts in craps, and they're fucking bananas.
Blackjack is just the best odds you have.
Yeah, blackjack is really, there's strategy, like I said, there's playing by the book, but, there is just a real luck situation. Like, it's not that much strategy involved to, like, flipping over and you have
Right.
20 and the dealer's like, I got 8. I mean,
It's not knowing what's next, which is so exciting.
yeah.
This thing, this card, this might be it. This might be it. Hit me.
And I found that, like, if I do $20 bet, there's just no rush.
Right.
I just go like, cool.
Right.
And you get to 100 and you're like, yeah, cool.
Get to 500.
Then you start to
I'm
go like,
feeling
ooh.
it. Like, this is real money. If I lose 10 of these, I'm
Yeah.
$5,000.
Yeah,
Fuck
that
that's
starts
a
to
lot
get
of
you. But then when you win that, you're like, yeah.
It's so stupid.
It's stupid.
It's so stupid. I
Exciting.
remember when I used to do gigs in Connecticut. I went to this casino in Connecticut. It's like one of them fucking, one of those weird casinos. It's very nice for where it is.
Yeah.
And you're wandering around there. I'm like, what paid for this? What
Yeah.
paid for this?
Yeah.
People like me don't know what the fuck they're doing. Banging on slot machines. I don't even know if they have slot machines in Connecticut. There's some casinos like in California where you can only play certain games.
Yeah, there's rules about that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rules. But
Like they have
man,
poker casinos.
some of those things you go like, this is so much money they're making.
Ari used to make a lot of money playing poker. Ari used
Poker
to
actually
feed
takes
himself playing
skills,
poker.
though.
Yes,
That
that's
takes
skills.
skills.
That's a skill game. That's a skill game. And I know there's a lot of poker places in LA.
Yeah.
There's like the bicycle club.
There's underground
casino.
games. People
Oh
are-
yeah.
I know about a couple of games where people play real money.
Yeah, Callan knows some people who do that.
LA has a number of those
Yeah.
underground games.
And he
with
said
ballers.
the crazy thing is like these guys will just gamble you into a corner where you're talking about so much money you have to fold.
Yeah.
Like so much money.
Yeah.
Like they'll just keep upping it, and like he said, there's games where people are gambling millions of dollars.
That's fucking yeah.
Wow, and they're real players.
Yeah. Scary.
Yeah.
I'm staying away from that shit.
I saw Philip was playing poker online the other night.
Yeah.
He
Oh.
did pretty good.
Is
Philip
he good?
And,
Yeah, he's playing here.
and his wife. They're both legit poker
He
players.
was in a tournament here. I think there was like
Margarita.
$100,000 in the pot or something like that.
When I was a pool, when I was a pool player, there was always like pool players who liked playing cards and pool players who hated card players, because card games took away from action. Because
Yeah.
when gambling addicts didn't want to play pool because they wanted to play cards, they wanted to play gin rummy.
Oh,
And they would
that takes away.
they'd gamble on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, God damn it.
Yeah.
You'd be mad. Watch a game break out.
If
Like,
you told me
fuck.
right now there's a blackjack game we could go play, I'd go play right now.
Really?
Yeah,
Look
it'd
at you.
be
Getting
fun.
a little itchy.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. For
Dana
going-
White won $7 million one night.
What?
He lost $1 million one night. Lost $1 million.
But he won 7?
Won 7. I think that was the night they kicked him out of the Palms.
I mean,
That's when they pulled the UFC from
what
the
kind of
Palms.
hands is he playing for that?
Who fucking knows? When he's very rich,
Yeah.
right? So for a guy like that, like
Yeah.
it's got to be juicy to get him excited.
I stood around one time at the Wynn, and I just watched a guy who was alone at the table. His lady was right next to him, and he was just doing $10,000 a hand. And I was like, God, just watching them go like, boop, no, 10,
Oh my God.
10. I mean, I was like, Jesus.
That just gives me anxiety just sitting.
Yeah, watching it, I was like, oh my God.
Because
And-
it's so addictive.
and
It's
he wasn't
so addictive.
he wasn't reacting to wins or losses.
Oh boy.
He was just like,
That can't be good.
no,
That can't be good.
no,
He's broken.
I got to pee real bad.
Yeah, you want to wrap it up?
Sure, I have a special out. I should say that. I haven't even mentioned it.
We haven't even talked about it.
No, it's
It's out
my,
to tomorrow. Well, at this day
it's at
that it
this
comes
day.
out. It'll be
It's my
4th of
fifth
July.
my fifth special. It's called
There it is.
Sledgehammer.
Look at you, you handsome devil. Do you notice the difference when you look back at your old ones? Do you ever see like Netflix
yeah.
recommends? Look at that old one and go, holy shit! Look at me
it's
now.
Dramatic, yeah.
Look at you, you fucking handsome prick.
That's in November. I'm 10 or 12 pounds more there.
Wow. You look great.
Thanks, man.
And special's awesome. I mean, your fucking set is so tight.
You know what it was too, Joe? Is that extra year. I did an extra year.
Yeah.
Pandemic obviously influenced that, but it made me realize how much better this hour is than any hour I've done.
Yeah.
I toured another year with it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a long time.
Tight.
My last show of this whole tour, I did 303 shows on this tour.
That is so bananas.
It's fucking bananas.
What a great name, though. I'm coming everywhere.
Yeah, it's a good tour name. Was in Iceland. My last show was in Reykjavik.
Sledgehammer.
Yeah.
Why Sledgehammer?
My dick compared to my son's, his looks like a sledgehammer. But
Netflix.
Yeah, it's
Let's
on
go.
Netflix now. It was I realized something. I was like, it was the very final show, and it's a wildly different hour on the 303rd show than the first one, right? Like, probably 40 minutes different. But I was in such control. I realized that on that last show that like I was doing like I did, I opened with like some local stuff, and I did some stuff I wrote in Europe because I was touring Europe, and then I got into like the meat of the hour set, and I was like, yeah, this is when you tour for that long and do this many shows that you're like I just owned it in a way that, and I was aware of it. I was like, I just own this.
I think it's a numbers thing. I really do. I think it's like what in the Malcolm Gladwell book about the Beatles when they played in Hamburg.
The thousands of hours.
Thousands of hours.
10,000
thousands of shows. Listen, it's awesome. I'm super happy for you.
Thank you. Thanks.
You're the
I
fucking man.
I hope you guys enjoy it. It was a really fun special. I hope you enjoy it.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Happy 4th of July.